Zhu Yan, a slave to capitalism, on one fine day just casually wished to become a salted fish, and guess what? Heaven heard her and bam, she got reincarnated into another world. Too bad, she didn't become a fish, but got reborn as Liao Tingan, the lowest ranked disciple of the Geng Chen Immortal Mansion. Talk about bad luck on top of bad luck. Liao Tingan was chosen as one of the disciples to serve the abstinent Dao Lord, whose ancestor is in closed-door cultivation in the Three Saints Mountain, famously known for being gentle and kind. But plot twist. Once inside, she discovers that the famous abstinent Dao Lord is actually Sim Xiao, the last survivor of the Fengshan family who was sealed for 500 years. So what's gonna happen to Zhao Yan's fate? Will she survive and return, or become chicken wrapped in sticky rice under Sim Xiao's hands?
The clock showed 12:24 a.m. and the light on Zhu Yan's desk hadn't dimmed for a single second. Her boss's voice echoed from the phone. Zhu Yan, is the design draft done yet? The client needs it ASAP, her boss urged. Sitting at her desk, Zhao Yan was still frantically editing, her fingers flying across the keyboard non-stop, while replying, almost done. After a long while, Zhao Yan finally leaned back in her chair. She stretched and sighed wearily. Done. Oh, by the way, let me introduce you. This is Zhao Yan, an ordinary person slaving away for capitalism, whose biggest dream in this ordinary life is to be a salted fish. She clasped her hands together and muttered in her head. This devout follower is willing to lose 5 kilograms in exchange for a world without overtime. But unexpectedly, the soul within Zhu Yan suddenly lit up. Even she couldn't believe it. Utterly never expected that. My wish came true. Too bad, it came true in another world. Zhao Yan returned to another reality. Still in the same pose with her hands clasped in prayer, a voice called out, Disciple Tingan. A man she didn't know where he came from approached Zhou Yan, calling her name and startling her. Liao Tingan, why are you meditating? Zhu Yan was shocked. The scenery around her changed 180 degrees, and there was even a strange man beside her. Who is Liao Tingan? Who the heck is Liao Tingan? Where the hell is this place? Wasn't I lying in bed about to go to sleep? Could this be the transmigration in Legends? Zhao Yan trembled immediately, her vision blurred, so scared that she didn't dare to change her position. I'm now a disciple of Qinggu Heavenly Branch, a guard god of Shanfu, immortal abode, named Liao Tingan, she muttered to herself. But why don't I have any memories? Why isn't there a user manual for newbies? I'm about to kick the bucket. As the thought flashed through her mind, Zhu Yan's master gently said, Tingan, you don't really need to be so diligent. You joined the sect late to begin with, and your cultivation isn't high. In terms of level, you're also at the very bottom. This time, the 8 main branches of Xianfu guard gods are selecting outstanding disciples. Qinggu Heavenly Branch is just contributing to make up the numbers. Zhao Yan blankly stood there for 5 seconds. What the heck? I transmigrated to a cultivation world and became this handsome guy's disciple. Finishing his words, Zhu Yan's master waved his hand, parting the clouds and pointing downwards. The Grand Master has been in seclusion on Mount Sansheng for 500 years and is finally about to emerge today. Our Xianfu Guard Gods is a major sect in the orthodox cultivation world. Encountering such a major event, not only the entire Xianfu Guard Gods, but everyone in the cultivation world feels honored. As he spoke, the master pointed Zhu Yan down below, to a place just 1 layer of clouds away from them. So many people, Zhao Yan marveled. She worriedly turned to her master and whispered, Master, is that Grand Master easy to get along with? The master smiled kindly, reassuring Zhao Yan, Disciple, don't worry. The Grand Master's Taoist title is Daojun Qizang, Benevolent Repository, with a high status, even higher than our sect leader, being the sect leader's Shibo Khan's senior martial uncle. Although I have never met the Grand Master, just hearing this Taoist title, I'm sure he's a generous and kind person. That's good then. Zhu Yan breathed a sigh of relief. Afterwards, Zhu Yan and her master went together to the meeting place that had been arranged. She also marveled at being able to ride the clouds and winds like a fairy for the first time. Arriving at the place, Zhao Yan almost dropped her jaw. Why are there only female cultivators? Is this Grandmaster the Emperor selecting concubines or a girl group audition show? One of the women inadvertently saw Zhao Yan and her master. She turned to ask them, which lineage does this junior sister belong to? The person who asked was the granddaughter of the Xianfu Guard God's sect leader, Mu Huosheng. The master introduced. Greetings, senior sister. Tingan is my disciple. Zhao Yan also shyly bowed. Greetings, senior martial aunt. In her heart she couldn't help but marvel. OMG, pretty girls. However, Mu Huosheng showed a meaningful smile. Oh, so it's not a junior sister but a grand Bernice. The female cultivators behind her also made disparaging remarks about Zhao Yan. Haha, with such low cultivation she'll probably fall over with a gust of wind. That's right. Hearing this, the master turned to comfort Zhu Yan. Don't feel pressured. It doesn't matter whether you get chosen or not. Master won't blame you. Hearing this, Zhao Yan said, yes, Master on the outside. But her heart was as cold as ice. Why should I feel pressured? I'm just here to go through the formalities. As the thought ended, a bell suddenly rang loudly. From inside the tower, an extremely magical aura suddenly emanated outwards, flashing brilliantly. Those beams of light gradually gathered into a shape in front of everyone. From within the magical beams of light, Shi Tianlu, the sect leader of Xianfu Guard Gods, appeared. Everyone was amazed and sighed. The sect leader came in person. A few years ago, when the great demon appeared to harm the world, only the 4 palace lords came. Today, only a few people are being selected, but everyone is showing up. It seems that the people above really value this selection. Shi Tianlu stepped forward and said loudly, today, we will select 100 people from among the disciples present here to serve the Grandmaster, Dao Jun Qizang. Finishing his words, Shi Tianlu and the 4 palace lords deployed a magical formation. Suddenly, a pillar of light surrounded the selected candidates, including Zhu Yan. Everyone was overjoyed, except for our sister Zhu, who was frozen solid. She muttered to herself, I was told to come here to go through the formalities, so why was I chosen? I thought I wouldn't be chosen, but I got chosen in an unexpected way. With a whoosh, the pillars of light gradually sent the chosen people away. Zhao Yan desperately grabbed out, No! The pillars of light teleported them to the 3 Saints Mountain Palace. But the atmosphere here was super gloomy. The palace in front of them even had a murderous vibe. Zhao Yan and the other chosen candidates landed and started looking around, checking everything out. She was like, whoa, it really is a cultivation world. Just a little teleport, and bam, here we are. Wu Huaosheng and her crew were also among the chosen ones. She looked ahead, worried. 3 Saints Mountain has been sealed for 500 years. I didn't expect it to look like this inside. Some female cultivators behind Mu Huaosheng were also nervous and scared. Does anyone else think this place is kinda creepy? Wait a sec, I can't use my spiritual energy freely. What's up with that? And what's with all those chains? Suddenly, a noise cut through their worries. Another female cultivator was sitting on the ground, trembling as she looked at the flowers in front of her. These flowers, they look like night. Blooming Sirius. Why are there so many night? Blooming Sirius here. In contrast, Zhu Yan was chill as heck. These flowers are pretty though. Why is she so scared? Once again, another noise interrupted the group. The sound came from the sky, making everyone look up. The figures of the sect leader and the palace lords appeared through the clouds in the sky. Zhu Yan marveled. This is so a cultivation world. They can even transmit sound through space. Shi Tianlu's voice echoed down below. Once Dao Daojun Kongzang leaves seclusion, you must figure out how to get his attention. Whoever succeeds will have good fortune waiting for them. Daojun Kongzang is no ordinary person. You must serve him wholeheartedly and absolutely not anger him, or you'll be seeing your ancestors real soon. Remember, anything related to Daojun Kongzang must be reported back to me. Zhu Yan's face turned green. She worried to herself. Something about that sentence sounds off, doesn't it? Wait, didn't they say he was a kind, high-ranking ancestor? Why does it sound like my life's in danger at any moment now? She glanced at the other female cultivators, cautiously. If the ancestor's this dangerous, why not get Buddha or someone to suppress him? What good is bringing a bunch of bone spirits, snake demons, and peacock princesses here? Are they here to help the ancestor chill out and cool down? Just as that thought crossed her mind, the palace in front of Zhao Yan burst into flames, and the atmosphere became super tense. A large, icy wind blew past everyone there. It was so sharp that Zhu Yan got a few cuts on her skin. She was pissed. Damn it, I'm bleeding. Grandmaster, please calm down. Shi Tianlu suddenly knelt and kowtowed, begging for forgiveness. Grandmaster, please calm down. The group of female cultivators below also felt the pressure and knelt down. A voice boomed. When I get out, all of you will get to eat naked chicken. This made Zhu Yan's eyes widen. She wondered, are you guys sure the one about to come out is a proper, orthodox ancestor? Grandmaster, Shi Tianlu presented a letter. 500 years ago, not long after you went into seclusion, my master passed away from old age. Before he died, he left a letter, hoping it could be presented to you, Grandmaster. Come in, the voice finished. Daojun Kongzang then used magic to summon Shi Tianlu inside. Outside, Mu Huaosheng's group wondered, are we going in or what? Of course, we have to go in and pay our respects to the Grand Ancestor. Only Zhao Yan was a scaredy Maquette. She thought, you know what, I think I'll pass. After a long while, Shi Tianlu staggered out, holding his head. There were bruises on his face. Quote, definitely from getting punched, Shi Tianlu instructed. The Grand Ancestor has come out of seclusion and doesn't like to be disturbed. The female disciples who are here to serve the Grand Ancestor will stay. Everyone else, go home. As soon as he finished speaking, he and the palace lords disappeared. Zhao Yan's face froze. Girl, I want to bail too. Suddenly, a creature appeared before them, hissing and startling everyone. A snake. The female disciples screamed. A red snake stood before them. One of the female disciples stepped forward, bowing nervously. "Senior, we disciples are here to pay our respects to our ancestor. The sect leader ordered us to come and attend to his daily needs." The snake turned inward and hissed a few times. "Follow me!" And with that, the snake led the group of female disciples into the palace. Along the way, Zhu Yan noticed bloodstains on the walls. She froze on the spot. Could this be the sect leader's blood from earlier? OMG, I want to go home. After a long while, the snake led them to the ancestor. "Come here." The ancestor beckoned the disciples. Each of them was fearful. Heads bowed as they greeted the ancestor. Only the stubborn Zhu Yan dared to steal a glance. Before them, the rumored merciful Dao Lord, tall and imposing, stood and began walking towards them. He even had a string of small beads wrapped around his ankle. Zhu Yan was curious. This string of tiny beads gives off such a soul-crushing feeling. At this moment, the ancestor approached a female disciple. "How audacious," he said softly. As soon as he finished speaking, a stream of blood splattered before Zhu Yan. That female disciple had just kicked the bucket. Zhu Yan's heart leaped into her throat. She screamed internally. "What the heck is going on? This is bad. This is really bad. Someone just died. I'm so scared. Someone died." However, the female disciple who had just been killed was very strange. Her face, after departing to the afterlife, gradually revealed a different appearance. Some of the others whispered, "Who is this? Isn't this junior sister Wan Ling? How did this person infiltrate here? How did no one notice?" Suddenly, the ancestor approached Zhu Yan, lifting her chin in her confusion. "How audacious." Just then, Zhao Yan clearly saw the cold eyes of the ancestor known as the merciful Dao Lord, Sim Xiao. Inside, Zhao Yan was in utter panic. "Why am I being so bold? I haven't even done anything yet." Tears welled in her eyes as she was in Sim Xiao's grasp. "Oh heavens, this is so unfair. I'm gonna die. Please don't kill me." Suddenly, a tremor ran through Sim Xiao, causing him to freeze. Sim Xiao withdrew his hand from Zhu Yan. She was dazed, wondering, with tears still in her eyes. "Did I just get saved?" Sim Xiao clutched his head, looking exhausted. He roared, "Get out, all of you! Get out now!" Sim Xiao chased the female disciples away. Seeing their grandmaster lose his temper, the disciples scattered like chickens. Zhao Yan followed them out, turning back in confusion before leaving. He just lost it like that. Is this old geezer freaking nuts or something? Outside, the atmosphere was much more breathable. The mountains and rivers even looked more scenic now. Zhou Yan breathed a sigh of relief. I actually survived. They were standing outside the Three Saints Mountain Tower. Mu Haosheng stepped forward and announced to the crowd, "Everyone, since the sect leader wants us to serve Grandmaster, we have no choice but to stay here. Let's find a place to rest first." Yun Xinyue, the Cloud Clan Master's granddaughter, stepped forward from the crowd to argue, "But senior sister, it seems Grandmaster doesn't want us to serve him at all. Staying here will probably be a waste of our effort." That's right, several people chimed in. Shishu Xinyue is absolutely right. Mu Haosheng immediately flared up, pointing at Yun Xinyue. "Stop manipulating everyone," Yun Xinyue scoffed and retorted. "Manipulating? Everyone saw how tragically that junior sister left just now." Mu Haosheng was even more furious. That woman wasn't junior sister Wan Ling. The Grandmaster probably saw through her disguise as an outsider, so he eliminated the threat. "Oh, so who's the threat now?" Yun Xinyue continued to provoke. Before they could get a few words in, they started brawling, throwing punches. "Whoever's making trouble here is the threat. Who's afraid of who?" Standing on the sidelines, Zhao Yan could only watch. What's with this unsightly mess? Aren't we supposed to be cultivating immortality here? How did this suddenly turn into a palace drama? And the kind of palace drama like a Thai drama, all the action and the drama at the same time. Suddenly, a sword flew out from the crowd. The sword nearly skewered Zhao Yan into reincarnation, causing her to scream. Zhao Yan quickly turned away, sighing. "I just dodged a disaster from the ancestor. I can't die here." After a while, the scene became quiet. "Are they done fighting?" Zhao Yan cautiously peeked her head out to investigate, but there wasn't a single soul in sight. She was flustered. "Wait, did they abandon me?" Zhao Yan sighed. "Oh, esteemed Shibo, please look at this insignificant, helpless, pitiful niece." After a while, she stretched and yawned. "Oh well, if no one cares, then so be it." As she walked, Zhu Yan consoled herself. "Anyway, I'm not even from this world. Maybe reincarnating early will send me back. Dying isn't scary, it's the pain that comes with it that's the scariest." After muttering to herself for a while, Zhu Yan didn't care anymore. Forget it, time for bubble tea. Wait, where am I gonna find bubble tea around here? Meanwhile, Sim Xiao, chilling under a peach tree with his spirit beast, was watching everything unfold. He was slowly feeling the spiritual energy in the air, closing his eyes to observe with his senses, like some kind of psychic. Sim Xiao overheard Yun Xinyue saying to everyone, "High risk, high reward, y'all. I'm sure you've heard the stories before coming here. We gotta win over the ancestor before anyone else. This is tied to a huge plan concerning the survival of the Khan, then immortal abode." Hearing that, Sim Xiao just chuckled. Let's see just how big these guys' balls really are. Let's go, he told his spirit beast. The spirit beast, hearing Sim Xiao's words, got all flustered. Suddenly, the master's pulling a 180. So scary, wah. Suddenly, something caught Sim Xiao's eye. He glanced over to the side. Down below, there was a figure sprawled out on a little pavilion not too far away. He went in, lifting the sheer curtain that was fluttering in the breeze. Sim Xiao and his spirit beast, after shrinking down in size, slowly crept closer. What kind of crazy person has the nerve to sleep in front of master? Sim Xiao got closer and realized it was Zhu Yan. She was just casually passed out on the bed. Glancing over to the side where Zhu Yan was snoozing, Sim Xiao spotted a bamboo cup with some unfinished drink in it. He sat down next to Zhu Yan and lifted her blindfold. Turns out, she's the biggest daredevil. Seeing this, Sim Xiao's spirit beast thought to itself, she's a goner, this person is so dead. Suddenly, Sim Xiao's face turned serious. He looked at Zhu Yan and said, even people from the demonic realm have managed to sneak in here. Then, he raised his hand near Zhu Yan's neck. But then, Sim Xiao cracked a smile. You think those Canthan Immortal Abode mutts deliberately sent her here to piss me off? Or are they really so useless they didn't even notice? Weirdly enough, Sim Xiao didn't send Zhu Yan to meet her maker. But what the demonic realm wants to do with the Canthan Immortal Abode is none of my business. With that, Sim Xiao plucked off one of his spirit beast's scales. The snake was in pain but didn't dare cry out, Waha! Why'd you pluck my scale? When I was just minding my own business. Holding the scale in his hand, Sim Xiao grinned evilly. Maybe I'm looking forward to seeing the Canthan Immortal Abode destroyed even more than those demonic cultivators are. The next few days, Zhu Yan was chilling in the Three Saints Mountain Gardens at night, just strolling around and enjoying the scenery. Honestly, if you look at it positively, it's not so bad. Beautiful scenery, food and drinks provided, and no need to work. Isn't this basically a free vacation? Zhu Yan was super relaxed, until she noticed the flowers and leaves of the Sun Moon Udumbara changing color at night. How magical is that? Suddenly, she heard a noise nearby. Who's that? Someone else here to admire the flowers like me. Zhu Yan pushed aside the leaves and saw another female cultivator also admiring the Udumbara flowers. Hey, the flowers are blooming so beautifully. Why are you picking them, girl? Suddenly, something caught Zhu Yan's eye, leaving her stunned. Wait. She trembled slightly, her eyes wide with shock, but she didn't dare move. Girl, behind you. Behind the girl, a shadowy figure appeared. She had no clue and kept picking flowers, thinking, who knew such a weird place would have such pretty flowers? Turns out the shadowy figure was Sim Xiao, giving the girl a look of pure hatred. Sim Xiao slightly raised his hand, looking like he was about to do something bad. Zhu Yan froze, not daring to make a single sound. In the blink of an eye, the girl was sent to meet her ancestors, courtesy of Sim Xiao. Witnessing that, Zhu Yan plopped onto the ground, covering her mouth. So scary I feel like throwing up. Please, gods, don't let him see me. Don't let him see me. I didn't see anything. I can't just wander around anymore. I'm going back to my room and staying there. Absolutely must not run into that psycho again. Sima Xiao's silhouette disappeared into the night. That night, Sima Xiao's spirit snake slithered into Zhu Yan's room. It stared at her, wondering, why isn't she awake yet? There's no way she's this unalert. Did she faint or something? Out of nowhere, Zhu Yan, still half asleep, grabbed the snake and hugged it tight. My darling baby, stop messing around. Oh, she's dreaming about her precious dog. Okay, stop licking. Go away now. After muttering a bunch of nonsense, Zhu Yan pulled the snake closer. Baby, are you shedding? Something feels kinda weird. Then, she slowly opened her eyes and glanced up. Suddenly, the spirit beast's snout was right in her face. She let out 2 earths, shattering FCK. Zhao Yan instantly switched to coward mode. Snake bro, can't you ration things out a bit? There are 100 of us here. If you eat 1 a day, that's still 3 months. If you eat 3 a day like that, you won't even make it to 2 months. In her head, Zhao Yan was chanting, Buddha, Jesus, true Lord, Mom, save me, save me. Suddenly, the snake dropped Zhu Yan's cup in front of her. Zhao Yan understood. The bamboo cup, you want this? The snake nodded like crazy. I'll get you a bigger one. Guaranteed to be enough. Zhao Yan forced a smile. This is a drink I found in my Qiangkun bag. It's a magic bamboo cup that can provide an endless supply of water. The snake's eyes sparkled with anticipation. Zhao Yan quickly pulled another cup out of her Qiangkun bag for the snake. It immediately dove in, gulping it down. Zhao Yan sighed inwardly. Even the snake that Psycho raises is like a dog, huh? To raise a snake as big as a dog, that Psycho is really something else. Turns out that earlier in the forest, it had accidentally drank some water from the cup that Zhu Yan dropped. On the other side, Sima Xiao summoned Yun Xingyue and several other female cultivators to ask about something. Speak, Sima Xiao said. Yun Xingyue and her sisters knelt below, feigning fear. What are you doing here? Sima Xiao flashed a meaningful smile. Yun Xingyue stammered. This disciple is here to serve ancestors' daily needs. Hearing this, Sima Xiao commanded, Say it again. What are you here to do? Sima Xiao used a truth-telling spell to control Yun Xinwei and the others. Yun Xinwei, under the spell's influence, trembled as she blurted out, I came here to become Ancestor's concubine. If I give birth to a child with the Sima family's bloodline, the Fengshan clan's lineage will be extended, thus killing Ancestor and resolving the great calamity for the Kunthan Immortal Palace. Our Yun family can then become the masters of the Kunthan Immortal Palace. Oh, Sima Xiao chuckled ominously, as if he understood everything. He then turned to the remaining two women. And what about you? Sima Xiao continued using his spell. They too fell under the spell, blurting out, I pretended to submit to Yun Xinwei because I wanted to wait for a chance to replace her, to seize the opportunity to open another palace for the Moa family, surpassing the Yun family. What? Yun Xinwei suddenly turned around, shocked. Sima Xiao just sneered. After so many years, it's still the same old stale plan with absolutely no progress. The Sima family is down to just me. If I die, the Kunthan Immortal Palace will be lost too. Palace Lord, Lineage Masters, all of you in the entire Kunthan Immortal Palace, you'll all die with me. Elsewhere, the scene was much calmer than within the Three Saints Palace. This was the Kunthan Immortal Palace's lantern pavilion. On the lake's surface were lotus flowers, some shining, some extinguished. The extinguished ones represented the life of someone who had returned to their ancestors. The Yin family palace lord recognized this. That's Xinwei's soul lamp. Her soul has dissipated. The Yin family palace lord said to Xin Tianlu, Sima Xiao really has no scruples at all. We've lost more than half of the 100 female cultivators we sent. Shen Tianlu calmly replied, what does he have left to worry about now? If it weren't for the fact that he hasn't recovered enough to leave the Three Saints Mountain, I fear. Just wait and see. These demons and ghosts, only a few soul lamps on the lake shone brightly, not yet extinguished. On the other side, Sima Xiao's snake and Zhao Yan, having drunk their fill, were sprawled out, fast asleep. Suddenly, Zhu Yan sensed something and woke up with a jolt. A sharp stomach pain hit her, causing her to roll around, clutching her belly. Why does it hurt so much? Is it that time of the month? No, that's not it. I don't feel any blood flow. The body structure of a female immortal cultivator is so strange I only feel stomach pain, but nothing else. The snake, groggy with sleep, woke up and looked at Zhu Yan, puzzled. It was shocked to see Zhao Yan so exhausted that she couldn't even roll over. Is she a goner? A while later, at Sima Xiao's Three Saints Palace, the snake brought Zhao Yan before him, signaling, Master, quickly save her. Sima Xiao was curious. What did she do? Why do you want me to save her? Zhao Yan lay on the ground, moaning. So cold. Sima Xiao was startled and looked at Zhao Yan, confused. The Ma Realm spies are really this audacious? Zhao Yan, unaware, clung to Sima Xiao, pleading, give me a blanket. The snake outside was scared for her. She's done for. This time, this female cultivator is really a goner. Unexpectedly, Sima Xiao's actions surprised the snake. Sima Xiao used his magic to examine Zhu Yan. After a moment, he realized. So it's the Ma Realm's poison. Child's play. With that, he helped Zhu Yan up. The snake was shocked. What does Master want to do? Don't tell me he wants to use his own blood to save this female cultivator. That's exactly what he did. Sima Xiao put his finger in Zhu Yan's mouth, feeding her his blood. Suddenly, he realized something with a jolt. This woman, Zhao Yan, couldn't bite Sima Xiao's finger, so she couldn't drink his strawberry syrup. Putting Zhu Yan down, Sima Xiao scoffed. Useless human teeth can't even bite my finger. With that, Sima Xiao personally poured his blood into Zhao Yan's mouth, only he poured a lot. But Zhu Yan still showed no signs of waking up. Why isn't she awake yet? My blood can't cure such a tiny poison. Inside Zhao Yan, she felt very strange, so cold, so painful. She felt like her whole body was covered in strawberry syrup, walking on the ground. Her footsteps dragged across the ground. Finally, Zhu Yan collapsed onto the ground, unable to stand anymore. She looked around, wondering, leaving here, will I get to go home? But Sima Xiao's strawberry syrup, Fey blood, was working. His blood gradually congealed inside Zhu Yan's soul. Slowly, a warm sensation spread, soothing Zhu Yan. Why isn't it cold anymore? It doesn't even hurt, and it feels kinda good. Whatever. Outside, Zhu Yan nonchalantly pulled up the blanket and fell asleep. Finally, a good night's sleep. Both Sima Xiao and the snake froze when they saw Zhao Yan sleeping and snoring away. So, she just fell asleep, Sima Xiao mused. The demon realm went to all this trouble just to get this thing in here. No way, this woman is not simple. Sima Xiao suddenly smirked evilly. She didn't rush up to me looking for death like other idiots, and she secretly charmed that dumb snake. Maybe today's entire performance was deliberately set up by her. Not bad. Got some tricks, layers upon layers of schemes, worthy of that beautiful face. Thinking this, Sima Xiao pinched Zhao Yan's face, making her uncomfortable. Zhao Yan woke up with a start. Oh my god. Before Zhu Yan, both the snake and Sima Xiao were staring at her, Awake. You're really ballsy. Being the ancestor of crazy chopping people, Zhao Yan once again went into beggar mode. Ancestor, spare me. She trembled, thinking to herself, this is like the second time the ancestor has said I'm ballsy. It's so unfair. If I were really ballsy, I wouldn't need to pee right now. Wah 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 wah. Sim Xiao looked outside. What did you come here to do? Zhao Yan answered in confusion. This disciple came here to serve the Grandmaster. Hearing this, Sim Xiao glared at her with a bullet-like gaze. He used the truth. Telling spell again. Answer me. What did you come here to do? Zhao Yan was unable to control herself under the spell. She blurted out honestly. I came here to adjust my rest, to relax my mood. Sima Zhao frowned. Is this human language? Looks like the demon realm spies have cultivated to the point of brain damage. Inside, Zhu Yan was freaking out. What's going on? Why did the words I wanted to say change? This kid is definitely playing tricks. This fantasy world is killing me. I didn't expect there to be a lie or truth bug too. Sima Xiao suddenly lunged forward and grabbed Zhao Yan by the neck. He didn't let Zhu Yan struggle. Those old geezers from the immortal abode are all scared of my place. Even if people from the demon realm don't have brain problems, they wouldn't dare come here to relax. Unless, you want to kill me? Zhao Yan spoke with difficulty, one word at a time. Don't. Want. To. Why don't you want to kill me? Sima Xiao pressed his face close to Zhao Yan's. She was almost out of breath, still struggling to stammer. Because, no hate, no grudge, no reason. Zhao Yan's words made Sima Xiao pause. He laughed maniacally. In this world, you don't need hatred or grudges to kill someone. You don't even need a reason. For example, right now, no reason, no hate, no grudge. I want to kill you. What do you think? Held in Sima Xiao's hand, Zhao Yan wondered, is this cultivation world really this brutal? Just wanting to kill someone for no reason? However, she didn't complain at all. Still speaking with difficulty, a tearful and painful smile on her face. I think I'm okay with it. Anyway, I can't beat you either, right? As soon as she said that, Sima Xiao's expression changed. Actually, inside Zhu Yan's heart, she was freaking out. X314. OMG, when will I fix this truth? Telling, lying glitch. Can't someone give me a chance to beg for mercy? What if this jerk gives me one palm strike? Won't I be meeting my ancestors already? I still want to fight for a chance to live? Sima Xiao gave a sinister smile and suddenly released his hand from Zhao Yan's neck. You want me to kill you? He pushed Zhu Yan away with both hands. But I don't want to kill you anymore. Sima Xiao stood up leisurely, while Zhao Yan lost her balance and fell to the ground, coughing laboriously a few times, thinking to herself, is this ancestor a psycho teenager? Sima Xiao added. From now on, you will serve me. Zhao Yan was startled and asked back. Me? Wah wah wah, Zhu Yan cried without even being hit. Can I refuse? Oh well, I know I can't. The snake next to her even looked happy. Hee hee, finally someone's suffering with me. A few days later, several female cultivators came to Manhwa Sheng with a dog-like servile attitude. Shishu, Master Uncle, I dare not go to see Shizu, Grandmaster, anymore, the female cultivator said. Manhwa Sheng looked puzzled. Serving Shizu, wasn't that what you wanted at first? The female cultivator immediately knelt down and begged, I don't want to anymore, Shishu, I'm scared. Has Shizu gone crazy? Otherwise, why would he massacre the inner disciples of our sect? He can kill the Shishu and Shiji, senior sisters, so he can kill me too. Please, spare me. Mu Huaosheng's eyes were icy, glancing at the other female cultivators. Is there anyone else like her? Get lost. Mu Huaosheng waved his hand and announced, You cowardly disciples are even more timid than rabbits. You can't even withstand such a small challenge. How can you enter Shizu's eyes? With that, she went alone to Sima Xiao's palace, kneeling there, calculating in her heart, any minute. I am the one chosen by the sect leader, unlike those ordinary mortals. Only I know that Shizu is of the Phoenix Mountain bloodline, know the taboo of his birth, know the tragedy he initially encountered. I understand Shizu better than anyone else. Even Yun Shiwei is gone, only I am still alive and well. It can be seen that Shizu has some regard for me. Thinking so, Mu Huaosheng said loudly, Disciple has come to serve Shizu. Please, accept me. Nearby, Zhu Yan saw this scene, admiring Mu Huaosheng in her heart. Wow, this female cultivator is so brave. I only wish to stay far, far away. But this sister is actively approaching that moody ancestor. What kind of mental fortitude is that? No wonder people are leaders. I'm still far from realizing that. Suddenly, Mu Huaosheng noticed Zhao Yan's appearance. She casually asked, You're still not dead. This sentence made Zhao Yan freeze. Hey, what a coincidence, huh? In front of Mu Huaosheng, Zhao Yan casually walked to the palace door, smugly. Dead? No way, I'm gonna live until the end of time. Mu Huaosheng sneered at this. What kind of place is Shizu's place? It's not like anyone can just knock and get the door opened. Zhou Yan's face went blank, standing there thinking. So what do? The ancestor told me to come in. The employee ID doesn't allow me. The door is forbidden, I can't get in. Isn't the only way to knock. As soon as she thought that, the door immediately opened. So smart, I haven't even knocked yet. Seeing this scene, Mu Huaosheng's eyes and mouth widened in shock. She angrily stood up. About to go in. I am the one favored by Shizu. What is she relying on? If she can get in, I also. Suddenly, a sound rang out. And in an instant, a spray of fresh blood splattered. Zhao Yan turned her head in shock, seeing that Mu Huaosheng had been killed. She was bewildered. She's dead. The palace door slammed shut accordingly. Zhao Yan lost her balance and almost fell backwards. Unexpectedly, she bumped into Sim Xiao, who was standing right there. He casually replied to her, "Dead." Sim Xiao stroked Zhu Yan's cheek. He pulled her close, asking with a sinister smile on his face, "Do you know why I killed her?" Sim Xiao explained to Zhu Yan, "Those people I killed before, most of them had stupid and greedy thoughts. They were so annoying, so I killed them. Especially Yin Xu Yue. The things she said proved it. She wanted to become my grandmaster's concubine and give birth to a child with the Sima family bloodline. That way, the Fengshan lineage would continue, and we could kill the grandmaster and solve the big problem for the Kanthan Immortal Abode. The Yun family could also become the masters of the Kanthan Immortal Abode." Then he talked about Mu Huaosheng. But the previous one wasn't. She was a puppet. Raised in a special way, she had nothing going on. Looking at Zhao Yan's bewildered eyes, Sima Xiao calmly affirmed, "Compared to the obvious greed of the others, I hate those puppets who've lost their minds and souls even more. I'm not even interested in killing people like that. It's just that she was too noisy today and annoyed me," Sima Xiao said, turning and walking inside. Zhu Yan froze. She looked at her grandmaster's back with a "what is even happening" look. Why is grandmaster telling me this stuff and personally bringing me upstairs and talking so nicely? Hallucinations. It has to be hallucinations. After a long while, you could hear Zhao Yan's tired breathing. Her legs were shaking as she climbed each step. Up ahead, Sima Xiao continued to walk casually. Behind him, Zhu Yan was almost out of breath. "So tired, I climbed 22 flights of stairs. If I keep climbing, I'll die of exhaustion before Grandmaster even kills me." Sima Xiao knew Zhu Yan was tired behind him, wondering if she was even fit to be called a cultivator. At the same time, Zhao Yan couldn't take it anymore. She knelt on the ground, complaining in her heart, "Grandmaster, please stop using your powers. I really can't go on." Suddenly, something in front of her made Zhu Yan's eyes widen. In front of her, a lotus flower was blazing with fire. It was burning so fiercely, but the lotus flower was still intact. Zhao Yan curiously moved closer. According to the usual rules of the Xuan world, this weird thing must be incredibly precious, she speculated. Unexpectedly, Sima Xiao got close to Zhao Yan. "Do you know what this is?" Zhao Yan was startled, stiffening as she replied awkwardly, A flower." "Look more closely." Sima Xiao grabbed Zhu Yan's neck, using magic with his other hand to pluck a petal. "A lotus flower?" Zhao Yan answered with difficulty, wondering if that flower had just screamed miserably a moment ago. Sima Xiao seemed surprised. "And they just let you in here without knowing anything?" "Yeah," Zhao Yan said confused. "No one told me anything. The demonic realm is really declining," Sima Xiao sighed inwardly. Thinking about it, Sima Xiao crushed the petal in his hand. He turned and instructed Zhu Yan, "You have to come here every day and water this thing." Wait, seriously? Zhu Yan was all like, "WTF, there's a flower under the fire, but watering it won't put out the fire." But Sima Xiao didn't say anything else, slamming the door shut, leaving Zhao Yan stranded. He just left like that. Helpless, she turned to vent her anger on the lotus flower. "You son, Fatuf, BTCH boss, you have no conscience. You give a newbie a weird task on their first day and just leave all high and mighty." She grabbed a large jug made by Gake something company, a fire extinguishing product for farmers, and scooped water from a nearby pool. "Watering? Is watering like this okay?" Zhao Yan splashed water directly on the lotus flower in front of her. Unexpectedly, the fire suddenly blazed up in front of her. It spoke. "You're watering me. I'm going to burn you to ashes." Zhao Yan hadn't anticipated this. Holy crap, the fire can talk. Is it a living fire? "Don't panic, I can win," she thought. Then she fiercely watered the fire again, making it scream. Finally, the fire shrank into a fire spirit, begging, "Don't water me anymore, I'm so uncomfortable, Waha." The fire spirit asked Zhu Yan, "Himik, I've never seen you before. Who are you? Why did that person bring you here?" Zhu Yan poked the fire spirit. "I haven't been here long. I'm here to serve Grandmaster." The fire suddenly became cheerful. "So you're a disciple of the Kanthan Immortal Abode? I knew someone would come to rescue me from his hands. If you're from the Kanthan Immortal Abode, then don't water me next time." Zhu Yan was startled and asked, "If I don't water you, what will I tell Grandmaster?" The fire asked naively. "Aren't you his woman? Just flirt with him and it'll be fine." The fire spirit's question made Zhu Yan freeze. "How did I become Grandmaster's woman?" The fire confidently explained, even ordering Zhu Yan, The person he dared to bring here must be his person. You're a woman, so that means you're his woman. Where's the problem? Didn't the person who brought you here teach you how to act cute? Go act cute. It'll definitely solve things with him. I can't stand this life anymore. Zhu Yan couldn't take it anymore and splashed water at the fire spirit. Shut your mouth. You're really the fire of our ancestors, with a problem in your head. But I heard they've been locked up here for 500 years. No wonder their condition has become more serious. The fire spirit covered its face, scolding Sim Xiao. Sim Xiao is crazy. If you extinguish me, he'll die with me. This stinky woman of yours dares to water me. One day I'll recover and burn you to ashes. Scattering the ashes in front of Sim Xiao. Is that so? Sim Xiao suddenly appeared. His appearance startled both the fire spirit and Zhu Yan. Silence fell. In just a moment, Sim Xiao had wrecked all of fire spirit's flowers, leaving it nothing but tears. My flowers. Zhu Yan gave a wry smile, thinking to herself, I literally just watered them. The fire spirit looked mournfully at the petals scattered on the ground. I worked so hard to grow those flowers. Wah! Grandmaster is seriously something else, so unpredictable. Zhu Yan watched Sim Xiao's retreating figure. The fire spirit sighed in relief. Finally, Sim Xiao's gone, seizing the opportunity. And determined not to be a slave, the fire spirit recruited Zhu Yan. Don't even worry about that Sim Xiao dude anymore. You gotta help me. I can give you so many treasures. It pointed at the petals on the ground. See these petals? One petal is worth 1,000 years of cultivation. If you help me, I'll give you 20 petals. Isn't that super generous? The fire spirit was feeling pretty smug. Who needs you to give them to me? Zhu Yan carefully picked up each petal from the ground and put it in her Qiankun bag. I can just grab what the Grandmaster throws away. That's good enough. Thanks. I know these are treasures already. The fire spirit kept trying to convince her. If you help me, I'll give you even more. Besides Sim Xiao, only I can pick the lotus petals. Even so, Zhu Yan only focused on picking up the fallen petals. Nah, no thanks. She thought to herself, 1,000 years of cultivation. What if I use it carelessly and just kick the bucket? These tricks are all over the novels. After picking up all the petals, Zhu Yan closed her bag, wondering, watering duty's done. I should be good to take a nap now, right? Seeing that it couldn't convince her, the fire spirit got angry and scolded Zhu Yan. Such a huge benefit right in front of you, and you just want to sleep. You're such an idiot. Suddenly, someone sprayed water on the fire spirit, making it scream. It turned out to be Sim Xiao's spirit beast. The fire spirit saw it and cursed. You snake dog, that woman already watered me. Why are you still watering me? However, the fire spirit's words were completely ignored. Zhu Yan took a bamboo cup out of her Qiankun bag and asked the snake, thirsty again? A moment later, Zhu Yan brought a huge basin of water for the spirit beast, who seemed super excited. All the water in this bamboo tube is for you, bro. Just drink it slowly. Seeing that it couldn't persuade them, the fire spirit's heart ached and tears streamed down its face. Wahala, this is so unfair. You guys listen to Sim Xiao so much, you'll never get a peaceful death. Zhu Yan sat next to the snake, musing. Feels just like raising a dog. She turned to the snake and asked, Hey buddy, if you're also a flower waterer, do you know when we get off work? The snake raised its head and pointed in one direction. Then, it led Zhu Yan away. Following you, Zhu Yan was excited. Knew that a long-time employee is more trustworthy than a scumbag boss. Following a long-time employee can't go wrong. Zhu Yan was led by the snake to a room. The atmosphere inside was gloomy, and there was a curtain in front. Hey bro, I asked you when we get off work, why are you bringing me to the bathhouse? Does that mean we go shower right after we're done? But it's so cold in here. Zhu Yan stepped inside, rubbing her arms. Who would come here to take a bath? Suddenly, she was shocked, and her face turned red. This is the Grandmaster's bathtub. In front of her, Sim Xiao was soaking in the water, and through the curtain and a few sprigs of white flowers, his exquisite body was revealed. Zhu Yan shyly covered her face. Oh no, I saw the 2 nips on Grandmaster's chest. Am I gonna get silenced? She hurriedly pulled on Snake Bro, wanting to run away. Let's go, quick! Getting caught peeping at Grandmaster taking a bath is punishable by death. This scheming snake, is he trying to screw over a colleague? You're too heavy. Suddenly, Sim Xiao called out. Come here! Zhu Yan felt like she'd been struck by lightning. My life ends here. She hurriedly begged Sim Xiao. Grandmaster, please forgive me. I didn't know this was your bathtub. I already watered the flowers, maybe. She hesitated, looking at Sim Xiao, who was facing her silently, and hadn't replied. In fear, Zhu Yan asked softly, Can I get off work yet? Get off work? These 2 words made Sim Xiao feel a little confused. Seeing that Sim Xiao didn't answer, Zhu Yan's whole body trembled. Why is Grandmaster being so silent? Does that mean he still wants to take my life? Suddenly, Sim Xiao nodded. Leave! Waiting for those words, Zhu Yan ran off like a bat out of hell. In the bathtub, Sim Xiao watched Zhu Yan leave, a certain something hidden in his eyes. In just a few short days, Zhu Yan had gotten used to this new job. The colleagues were friendly and approachable. She cheerfully clinked glasses with Sima Xiao's snake, downing every last drop. Sima Xiao often didn't show up, which secretly pleased Zhu Yan. Sweet. The Grand Master wasn't around, so she could laze about in peace. Zhao Yan's work target was the fire spirit, who, despite its love of cursing and spewing flames, was easily dealt with by throwing water on it. Peeved. Amateur. She even conveniently solved the commuting problem by moving straight into the Three Saints Tower. Bursting with pride, she showed off her accomplishment. Brothers, check it out. I've brought my folding bed and blankets. No more tiring climbs every day. I'm such a genius. Zhou Yan sprawled on her bed like a total chill queen. This isn't so bad, actually. Suddenly, she felt like something was off. Her face was dotted with sweat. Something's not right. Outside, a gloomy and oppressive atmosphere surrounded Zhao Yan's sleeping spot. Opening the window just blasted her with hot air. How am I supposed to sleep like this? Wah, my complexion. The fire spirit beside her openly laughed in Zhu Yan's face, leaving her fuming but helpless. What are you laughing at? The fire spirit cackled with glee. Today's the new moon. It's been 500 years since Mount Three Saints saw a new moon. So what if it's the new moon? Zhao Yan wondered. This Xuan world is so weird. A new moon only appears once every 500 years. Suddenly, she heard footsteps approaching. The heat around Zhu Yan suddenly shifted, and she shivered, hugging herself. Why is it suddenly so cold? From within, Sima Xiao emerged, surrounded by a dark aura. Zhu Yan noticed. It's the Grand Master. Looking at Sima Xiao, Zhao Yan wondered. What kind of artsy-fartsy stuff is he up to now? Sima Xiao approached the blood blossom and reached out, absorbing its fiery energy. Instantly, Sima Xiao was enveloped in a rich aura of blood energy. Watching this, Zhao Yan was wary. I really don't want to see any more of Grandmaster's secret techniques. Immediately, Zhao Yan pulled the blanket over herself and pretended to sleep. Time for the great fake death technique. I'm dead. Okay, I see nothing. I see nothing at all. Unexpectedly, Sima Xiao raised the blood blossom in his hand. Even more unexpectedly, he brought the blood blossom closer to Zhu Yan. She was keeping her eyes shut, so she could only feel it. I see nothing at all. Why has it suddenly got this light, pleasant scent? It's so fragrant, makes you instantly awake and full of energy. Zhao Yan cautiously cracked open her eyes, feeling like she'd just chugged 3 cans of Red Bull. Standing before Zhao Yan, Sima Xiao suddenly smiled kindly. Do you know what this is? That's a red lotus, Zhu Yan said, her eyes warily fixed on Sima Xiao. Crap, I've been hit with his truth charm again. Didn't he ask me this before? Why is he asking again? Sima Xiao held up the blood blossom and explained. Wrong. This is a Phoenix Mountain blood coagulation flower. Do you know what it does? Zhu Yan chirped. Yeah, 1 petal is worth 1,000 years of cultivation, Sima Xiao nodded. That's right, but without my blood to balance it, even a tiny petal will explode into a blood splatter, Zhu Yan internally wailed. Mom, I told you this stuff can't be eaten randomly, or I'd have already exploded into a blood flower mess. Thank goodness for my lethargic nature. Sima Xiao once again used his truth, telling magic on Zhu Yan, asking, Do you want to kill me? Zhu Yan was taken aback. What's up with the Grand Master today? Asking me questions he already asked before. Do I look like a crazy murderer? Thinking this, she replied to Sima Xiao, I don't want to. As soon as she said that, Sima Xiao suddenly gave the blood blossom to Zhao Yan. Here, it's yours. Zhao Yan was completely confused. Even if it's a treasure, I can't use it, you stingy bastard boss. Giving me the box without giving me the key, are you kidding me? Sima Xiao asked again. Are you secretly cursing me in your heart because of the truth charm? Zhao Yan truthfully nodded. Yeah. Hearing this, Sima Xiao didn't get angry, he just laughed heartily. This gesture made Zhao Yan jump. The boss is unusually nice tonight, and he's laughing like that. But that laugh is creepy AF. Suddenly, Sima Xiao lunged forward and grabbed Zhao Yan by the throat. You think I'm being nice today, don't you? Guess why? The blood coagulation flower suddenly started to fall. Sima Xiao spoke a shocking sentence. Because I'm about to croak. Zhao Yan was crying inside, thinking about her own memorial tablet after kicking the bucket, so she's about to die, huh? Suddenly, Sima Xiao released his hand from Zhao Yan's neck, catching her off guard. Aya, isn't he trying to kill me? Another unexpected thing happened. Several figures flashed before Zhu Yan's eyes, and she blurted out, Holy SHT, kill. Out of nowhere, a group of cultivators wielding swords charged fiercely to attack Sima Xiao. Sima Xiao glared, his attitude serious. Want to leave this world early, huh? The leading female cultivator was sent flying into the wall with just one blow. A surging magical power emanated from Sima Xiao, and the murderous aura he released was terrifying to behold. Severely injured, the female cultivator still struggled to speak. How can this be? Weren't we told that you are at your weakest during the new moon? Sima Xiao confirmed. That's right, I've been locked up here for 500 years, my cultivation is suppressed, and I'm tortured every day. The first new moon night is indeed when I'm at my weakest. The blood coagulation flower suddenly flew out of Zhu Yan's hand. Sima Xiao took it, a knowing smile on his face. If you don't make a move now, there won't be another chance after tonight, Zhao Yan, upon hearing this, exclaimed. This is the first time I've seen someone openly reveal their weakness to those who want to kill them. This old geezer either has a screw loose or is looking for a place to die. Without further ado, the female cultivator jumped up and launched a series of attacks at Sim Xiao, some of which nearly hit our Ms. Zhao, who was just trying to chill. She was terrified inside. Didn't they say you can't use spiritual power here? How can these people fight so outrageously? Even I'm getting caught in the crossfire for no reason. Sim Xiao calmly continued to use the coagulating power of the blood flower. With just a snap of his fingers, all the moves the female cultivator unleashed were reversed and stabbed back at her, severely injuring her. Sim Xiao also used that move to attack the surrounding cultivators, not letting anyone survive. The female cultivator resentfully said to Sim Xiao, "You weren't fundamentally injured in your primordial spirit, nor were you affected by the new moon. You deliberately lured us to attack. I even thought you hadn't noticed us, but it turns out you knew all along. It's a pity I was just a pawn doing someone else's dirty work." Sim Xiao once again offered the blood coagulation flower to Zhao Yan, replying, "You're wrong. My primordial spirit is indeed injured, and today is the day I'm at my weakest. Wanting to kill me, this is indeed a once Parian Fippergium opportunity. It's just that, even if I'm this weak, you guys are still very weak." As he spoke, Sim Xiao was drooling strawberry syrup like crazy. Zhao Yan was speechless. "Grandpa, boss, when you say those shocking words, you're drooling syrup from the corner of your mouth." "But, even Ancestor is getting hurt." Sim Xiao wiped the blood from his mouth. "Back then it seems I killed all the elders, and the master of the immortal god pavilion. Now someone like you wants to kill me. You're seriously overestimating yourself." The female cultivator struggled to stand up, holding her sword. "This is my master's sword, the Moonbloom sword, the inherited sword of our Moonbloom sect to this day. You killed my master back then, I must avenge this grudge. The entire degenerate Sema family is on this Feng Mountain. We severed ties long ago." Finishing her words, she slashed towards Sim Xiao. Zhao Yan, standing on the sidelines, could also feel the tension. "The strong wind and blinding light, I can't even open my eyes. Is this what a fight looks like? It's so scary." Suddenly, there was a hand on Zhu Yan's back. She was startled and turned around. In front of her, Ancestor was chanting an incantation to reflect the female cultivator's attack. HMPH Sim Xiao, even if his primordial spirit is severely injured, he won't admit defeat. Zhao Yan could only hug her head and tremble. "So scary. I just want to live in peace." A whooshing sound rang out. Zhao Yan felt like the atmosphere had become quiet again. "Ancestor." She stood up and called out to Sim Xiao. He was in front of her, clutching his chest with difficulty. "Ancestor, are you all right?" Zhao Yan rushed to Sim Xiao's side, worried. "No way. Is boss this badly injured?" Suddenly, the female cultivator lying on the ground shouted at Zhu Yan, "Liao Tingan, I recognize you. You are a disciple of Qingjiu Tian. Your master has to call me Grand Aunt. Sima Xiao no longer has the strength to resist. Kill him quickly. If you kill him, our Moonbloom sect will be your backing in the future. As long as you mix Sima Xiao's blood with the moon coagulation flower of Feng Mountain, you can immediately possess profound cultivation. Then, use my Moonbloom sword to take out his heart and place it in the Bitan over there, and he will die completely." Zhao Yan looked around in confusion. She was still trying to figure out what the heck the cultivator was talking about. Ancestor doesn't seem to be doing too well. Just then, Sima Xiao suddenly fell to the floor, unconscious. Zhao Yan was terrified. Did Ancestor just kick the bucket? Sima Xiao, not quite dead yet, smiled faintly at Zhao Yan. "That's right. Come, kill me. Go on, kill me," Sima Xiao said. Zhao Yan was like, "WTF, what's this Ancestor on about? You uncomfortable or something?" Sima Xiao was still pointing at his chest. But Zhao Yan's attention was drawn to the wood planks behind him. "I get it," she thought. "He's lying there rubbing his back raw. Must be super annoying. Looks like I gotta put in a little elbow grease," Zhou Yan muttered, frowning thoughtfully. Just when everyone thought she was gonna off Sima Xiao, she used all her strength to hoist him up. Then, she placed Sima Xiao on the bed. He looked completely bewildered. Zhao Yan said sweetly, "Ancestor, is that a little better? Just gotta make do for now. I'll get you a new bed later." The other cultivator, ignored by Zhao Yan, exploded. "Liao Tingan, what are you doing? Kill him now. He's a demon lord. If he doesn't die today, more people will die later. You're playing with fire. You'll regret this." Zhu Yan plugged her ears, blocking out the noise. She thought, "I've lived for over 20 years, and I've never even killed a chicken. You think a few words are gonna make me kill someone? No way. I'm just an innocent bystander watching the show, not getting involved in this world's squabbles." Then she looked at the Ancestor lying next to her. Why does everyone want to kill people, she wondered. This world has nothing to do with me. These people have nothing to do with me. Why should I listen to that woman? And Sima Xiao and I have no grudges, she reasoned. I'm not gonna kill him. It's simple. Why make it complicated? Liao Tingan, Sima Xiao suddenly said. Zhao Yan replied, Ancestor. She immediately rushed over and patted Sima Xiao a few times, asking anxiously, Are you okay? Got any last words? If the boss goes down, I gotta rethink my career path. Sim Xiao promptly coughed up blood right in front of Zhu Yan. She jumped back, thinking, okay, yeah, he's definitely not doing well. Zhu Yan panicked. I'm guessing there's some kind of magic healing potion around here somewhere. Where is it? Should I go look? Suddenly, Sim Xiao seemed to realize something. He unexpectedly pulled Zhu Yan close to him. The next second, Sim Xiao scooped Zhu Yan up and flew into the air, catching her completely off guard. Below, for some unknown reason, a massive explosion erupted right after they took off. Now far away from the blast, Zhu Yan was still stunned. What the heck just happened? So much has happened tonight. Was all that weakness just an act? Sim Xiao looked at Zhu Yan with a knowing smile. Don't worry, he said, I wasn't gonna let you die. He raised his hand. In his palm, a roaring flame blazed. So you can't kick the bucket, Sim Xiao said, flicking his wrist. The flame spread across Mount Sansheng, merging with the chains. The others, on Mount Sansheng, blocked off, shouted anxiously. This fire's blocking the way. We can't get out. Why can Sim Xiao still move around? Are we trapped? One guy named Tian Jiang was there. He hastily pleaded with Sim Xiao, Dao Lord from Tibet. This is all a misunderstanding. We of the Celestial Branch have no intention of disrespecting you. Seeing that Sim Xiao's anger hadn't subsided, Tian Jiang pointed at an old man nearby. It was him. He was the one who played tricks. The old man didn't bother denying it. So what? Don't let him fool you. He's clearly on his last breath. If we join forces tonight, we can definitely take him down. Sim Xiao said casually. Which palace's trash are you? After locking me up for 500 years, I've forgotten everything. Beside him, Zhu Yan sighed. Even at a time like this, he's still making enemies. Truly an ancestor, I am impressed. Sim Xiao sneered at the people before him. Didn't I tell you? Even if I'm this weak, you're all still too pathetic. Sim Xiao simply reached out his hand. A stream of fire shot out. In an instant, countless people were burned alive in agony. Sim Xiao, you won't die peacefully. Tian Jiang was stunned. We thought after being suppressed for 500 years, Sim Xiao was so weak he was just waiting to die. I didn't expect him to still be this terrifying. The bald old man also started to panic. The Fengshan clan is truly that powerful. Such layers of formations and restrictions, and they still couldn't do anything to him. Tian Qiyang, scared witless, hastily bowed and apologized. Dao Lord, these people were disrespectful to you. They deserve to be punished. After we return, we'll definitely deal with the branch they belong to. Sima Xiao didn't care. He turned to Zhu Yan and asked, look at these people. Each one of them inspires fear in others. Yet their current state is so ridiculous. What are your thoughts on this? Zhu Yan froze. Today's information overload is too much. My brain's fried, I just feel. Zhu Yan suddenly blurted out, looking at Sima Xiao with wide, innocent eyes. I just feel your waist is really slender. She forgot she was under Sima Xiao's spell and panicked inwardly. Is this bastard using a truth spell to kill me again? Zhu Yan's chubby cheeks were being pinched by Sima Xiao, making it impossible for her to say a word. His voice was ice cold as he said, so my waist is very slender. Faced with this question, Zhu Yan could only force a laugh and say, that's right, I think it's probably because you've been locked up for too long, and you're so hungry that you've gotten that way. In her heart, she couldn't help but think, there's nothing to eat on Mount Sansheng. What else could it be but hunger? Remembering Sima Xiao's appearance when he was locked in the dungeon, his furious attitude as he constantly cursed, release me, I want to eat, otherwise I'll kill you all. Zhu Yan felt that her thinking was absolutely right. This grandpa was in prison with no one to bring him food. He suffered from hunger and thirst. No wonder he got more and more twisted. But she only dared to think it in her head. She didn't have the guts to say it. Sima Xiao said dangerously. You're right. The suffering I've encountered. His hand reached out and touched Zhu Yan's hair, causing her to blankly think. Huh, what did I say? He pulled her small body into his embrace, and his sinister tone continued. I should demand it all back, one by one. Zhu Yan panicked after hearing this. I didn't say that, damn it. Power from his hands began to spread in all directions, causing the crowd to run away in fear. Screams rang out everywhere. Get out of the way! Zhu Yan stared dumbfounded at Sima Xiao's actions. What does he want to do now? His eyes were filled with murderous intent as he coldly asked the crowd, did I let you leave? A bald man recognized Sima Xiao's actions. This is bad. He's trying to break the formation. Inside the formation, ghostly spirits gradually approached. Enveloping the two of them at the center, Zhu Yan asked worriedly, what are these? Sima Xiao explained to her. The 8 great palaces set up this grand formation back in the day, and the later generations of the sect master maintain it. Zhu Yan finally understood. So the group of women that Ancestor killed before weren't killed randomly. The man beside her began to emit thick, murderous aura. I've tolerated these eyesore seals for too long. Streams of demonic power, like dark, sharp points, were constantly approaching them. Sima Xiao held Zhu Yan tightly in his arms. The sturdy iron chains also began to crack, making clanging sounds. Then, each link broke apart. The crowd outside couldn't believe what they were seeing. He can actually rely on his own strength to break the formation. The bald man was extremely worried. We're dead. We're really dead. The seal has been broken. In that case, all the spiritual energy will. Spiritual energy gradually escaped from the dark and endless space. Sima Xiao lifted Zhu Yan up high to observe the situation. Streams of brilliant spiritual energy surrounded them. In contrast to his calmness, she was a little panicked, clinging to him tightly and screaming. After stabilizing, Zhu Yan thought blankly. Am I sitting on a cloud? This is the first time I've seen ancestors smile so happily. Not the, you're about to die kind of smile, but just happy. She gently inhaled the extremely comfortable air and asked curiously, what is this? As if sensing a change in her body, her eyes lit up. It's spiritual energy. Just one breath and I feel like even a cultivation noob like me is leveling up like crazy. At the beginning, we put a lot of efforts into setting up a grand formation to cut off spiritual energy on Mount Sansheng, and also taking the opportunity to swap the dragon for the phoenix. As a result, the spiritual energy was diverted to all parts of the Caranus Majora star territory. That's how we got a prosperous Caranus Majora star territory for 500 years. Now, Sima Xiao has destroyed everything, they thought in fear. Sima Xiao has escaped from confinement for more than 500 years. He will definitely not spare us. What should we do? At this moment, Xin Ganyan quickly stepped forward and saluted Sima Xiao. This humble one is Xin Ganyan, paying respect to Dao Lord Zizang. Now that you see Mount Sansheng has been destroyed like this, how about temporarily moving to White Deer Domain to stay for a while and waiting until Mount Sansheng is completely repaired? Then we will invite you back here. Shi Ganyan's flattering attitude made Zhu Yan curse in her heart. This bastard, he's sucking up to Ancestor faster than I am. Shameless. Shi Ganyan is afraid that Ancestor will get angry and kill a few more people, so he separated himself first, huh? As expected of the sect master, he's full of schemes. Sima Xiao heard him introduce himself and suddenly asked, your surname is Shi. Is Shi Tianlu related to you? Shek Ganyan replied respectfully. Sect master Shi Tianlu is this humble one's uncle. Is this beside Dao Lord your wife? She must be frightened too. How about coming to White Deer Domain together to recuperate? Zhao Yan saw that he had misunderstood her identity and quickly waved her hand to explain. No, she thought in confusion. Wife. How did I become his wife? Sima Xiao touched her shoulder, causing her to startle and say, whoa. Sweat poured down like rain on Zhu Yan's pretty face. She kept thinking, boss, what are you doing again? He's calling things randomly. It's not like I want that. While Sima Xiao was pinching Zhu Yan's cheeks with interest, she became even more frightened. If you want to chop me or kill me, just say so, boss. Just repeating this action, are you petting a cat? Shigeyan saw how intimate the two of them were and guessed, this woman is really not simple. She can make the tyrant ancestor bring her along the way, and even show affection in front of everyone. Others were also very puzzled. This female disciple looks very ordinary and has nothing special. Why does Sima Xiao like her? Sima Xiao doesn't care about women. The sun must be rising in the west. The cultivation world is about to have an alliance with the demon realm. Absolutely impossible. Faced with the curious gazes of the crowd below, Sima Xiao began to take action. He flicked his fingers lightly. A powerful force seemed to engulf the space, and screams of pain rang out everywhere. Sima Xiao coldly ordered them, go back. In the silent night, under the clear moon and gentle breeze, a group of people started gossiping as they looked at the scene reflected through the lotus flower. Zhu Yan, which sect is she even from? How's she still alive? Another disciple replied, heard she's a disciple of Dongyang Zhenren, and his tricks are pretty good. I wonder what he taught his female disciple to seduce men, making Sima Xiao so obsessed he's lost his mind. Someone couldn't help but chime in, if that woman can stay by the grand ancestor's side forever, maybe Qinggu Tian will have a chance to rise up and become the main branch. Seeing them gossiping like that, Yuan Chang, from the first branch of Wanyu Plum Garden, son of the Yuan family head, thought with contempt, what a bunch of idiots. Still thinking Zhao Yan is a disciple of Dongyang Zhenren. Can't you figure out that I arranged it all? Don't even think about it. Qinggu Tian is too small. Time to participate in something as big as serving Sima Xiao. What I hold in my hand right now is an advantage that nobody else has. A woman who makes Sima Xiao look at her differently. As long as the GU poison on Zhao Yan's body isn't cured, she can only follow my arrangements. Even Sima Xiao can't save her. Xin Tianlu stood high above, calmly telling the others, all right, this isn't a small matter. We need to investigate it thoroughly. He transmitted his voice to Shi Ganyan. Ganyan, there's a female disciple named Zhu Yan whose soul lamp hasn't gone out from beginning to end. Do you know what's going on? Shi Ganyan reported. Uncle Master, I was also very surprised about this. It seems that female disciple is very much favored by Dao Lord Xingkang, who protects her at all times. It's a pity we don't know the reason. Shi Tianlu snorted softly after hearing this information. Streams of spiritual energy emanated from his hand. Perhaps this is our opportunity. The spiritual energy seeped through the lotus flowers in the lake, gently reflecting the image of Sima Xiao. Zhao Yan, sitting on a makeshift hammock in the cave, asked softly, hey buddy, what is the boss doing? She thought to herself, it's not some special ritual after killing someone, is it? The phenomenon before her made her deeply suspicious of life. The weird ritual is getting bigger again. Strange streams of qi are emanating from the lotus flower, as if brightening the entire lake surface. Looking at the blooming lotus flower emitting mystical streams of energy, Zhu Yan excitedly asked, "Is the ritual over? Did a new one grow? So this precious lotus flower grows like this?" Thinking about it, isn't our own ancestor the biggest treasure? But she wasn't excited for long. She sighed, her expression weary. "No can do. All night it's been assassinations and breaking formations. Can't even get a good night's sleep. Once I close my eyes, my whole body will..." Her body started to give way. Sim Xiao, seeing that Zhu Yan's mental state wasn't good, softly called out, "Zhu Yan," but there was no response from her. This situation left Sim Xiao helpless. She fell asleep again, huh? Zhu Yan had fallen into a peaceful sleep. Seeing her sleeping so soundly, Sim Xiao couldn't help but reach out and gently touch her smooth face. His eyes were full of tenderness. Zhu Yan was in Sim Xiao's arms, and they both fell into a rare, peaceful sleep. But at this moment, she kept talking in her sleep. "Such a slim waist. Want to eat meat." The lotus flower in the lake emitted a bright light. The light was so dazzling that Zhu Yan woke up groggily. Seeing Sim Xiao sleeping in her arms surprised her greatly. In her heart, she panicked and thought, "What is this? What is going on here?" Her whole body became stiff, and her hands were still maintaining the action of holding Sim Xiao in her arms. Contrary to the peacefulness outside, Zhu Yan's heart was in chaos. "No way, I'm about to suffocate. I just took a nap, and I've been brought to bed by someone. The homicidal grand ancestor is lying next to me. What am I supposed to do? I'm waiting, also, very anxious." Suddenly, his face stuck close to hers, making her very embarrassed. Finally, Zhu Yan decided not to think too much and hugged the man in her arms, gently patting him. "Whatever. There's nothing I can't face. If there is, I'll sleep on it and talk about it later." Zhu Yan peacefully went back to sleep and would figure things out later. The lotus flower under the lake continued to emit abundant spiritual energy until the sky turned a fiery red at sunset. Zhu Yan finally woke up from her peaceful nap, looked at the empty space beside her and wondered, did Shizu leave already? He said a nap would solve everything, didn't he? All done, huh? She thought, stepping out of the cave barefoot. Feeling the freshness at the cave entrance made her feel amazing. The spiritual energy here ain't bad either, huh? Not only does it let people sleep naturally until they wake up, but it also makes me feel ridiculously pretty. Zhu Yan was feeling herself like a salted fish in water, all puffed up. Seeing Zhu Yan like that, the fire spirit couldn't help but manifest and scold. "Useless trash, all of you are useless. Those grandsons of the immortal abode guards, such a good opportunity yesterday, and they still couldn't take care of Sim Xiao." The fire spirit's attitude made her even more hesitant. What the heck is this fire dude's stance anyway? One minute it's saying if it's in trouble, Sim Xiao won't be okay either since they have a symbiotic relationship, and the next it wants someone to kill Sim Xiao ASAP. Looking down at Sim Xiao's back, Shizu is down there, huh? As if sensing Zhu Yan's gaze, Sim Xiao turned around to look at her. He raised his hand, gently waved, and commanded, "Come here." Seeing that Sim Xiao had noticed her so quickly, Zhu Yan panicked and pressed herself against the edge of the cave. "Is Shizu really that scary? He can sense me just like that." When she got down there, she said with a dark face, "I'm here, but I don't see Shizu anymore." Suddenly, Sim Xiao's cold voice sounded right behind her, startling her. "Why are you so late?" Because of the suddenness, Zhu Yan staggered and almost fell. As she was about to faceplant, all she could think was, "Crap, those flowers are the ancestors' treasures. I can't crush them. Those girls who died from picking flowers before are a prime example. Even if my face smashes into the ground, I can't touch those flowers." But before she hit the deck, Sim Xiao caught her. With just one simple move, Zhu Yan was once again nestled in that familiar, sturdy embrace. She thought frantically, "Crap. This move, does it look a little too much like jumping into someone's arms on purpose? I probably won't be misunderstood, right?" Looking up at Sim Xiao, Zhu Yan gave a forced smile and greeted, "Greetings, Shizu." In her mind, she was giving herself a pep talk. Whatever. As long as the ancestor activates the system error and asks, "Woman, do you want to jump into my arms? I'll prove my innocence." Seeing her attitude, Sim Xiao said coldly, "Give it a rest." This attitude made Zhu Yan so embarrassed that she wanted to bang her head against the wall. "Seriously, I've seen that I'm such a pervert expression a lot. Use the system error to tell the truth. Use it now so I can tell you the truth." Sim Xiao suddenly asked, "Do you know what this is?" Zhu Yan, still a bit annoyed, replied, "The Sun Moon Utambara." In her mind, she was still cursing. "Damn it, seriously. Why aren't you using the system error to tell the truth anymore?" He continued to ask. "Then do you know where this flower comes from?" she snapped. "No." Sim Xiao picked up the flower, his voice even. "The seeds of the Sun Moon Utambara are the bone jade left behind by the Sema clan after death. One jade can grow one Sun Moon Utambara. There used to be many jade stones, and I scattered them all here. They grew into these flowers." This news made Zhu Yan realize So this is a graveyard. How many people must have died here with so many Sun Moon Utambara? After the sun goes down, the flowers and leaves of the Sun Moon Utambara will change color. He asked her, "Isn't it beautiful?" Zhao Yan gave a forced smile and said, "Beautiful." Sima Xiao said casually, "Then I'll give you one. Pick one yourself." This suggestion made her stunned. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? He continued to provide Zhu Yan with new information. Pick one. It's said that after members of the Sema clan die, the bone jade of an evil person that grows from the Sun Moon Utambara will become a potent poison, and the seeds of the bone jade of a good person will be a spiritual medicine that can cure all kinds of poison, she thought in agony. They all look exactly the same to me. I can't tell the difference at all. Finally, Zhu Yan reached out and randomly picked one. Seeing that she was still standing there safe and sound, Sima Xiao had to praise her. "Seeing that you're still standing here, the flower you picked must be a spiritual medicine." "How lucky," Zhao Yan replied a little distractedly. "Really?" Seemed like she wasn't doing too well, and her voice was getting weak. "Well, that's good." The Utambara flower fell from Zhao Yan's hand. She closed her eyes wearily and collapsed into Sima Xiao's arms. Seeing that she wasn't moving, he quickly called out, "Zhu Yan!" Zhao Yan, after being poisoned, kept muttering, "It hurts. It hurts so much." Little did she know whose memory this was. This pain was a gazillion times worse than her own. The girl in the memory desperately screamed, "No! Let me go!" She was dragged away by someone, begging him non-stop. "He's my brother! I can't!" But the guy coldly lectured her. "Sima, you and him have the responsibility to bear children and continue the bloodline of Mount Feng. What about my brother? The Sima family's bloodline must remain pure. You and your brother are the last two of the Sima family, so don't be stubborn." As Sima collapsed to the ground, someone approached. She looked up at him, her eyes filled with fear. Not my brother, but her brother still did that thing to his younger sister. The girl could only grit her teeth and bear it. Afterwards, they had a baby boy. That boy was Sima Xiao. The newly awakened boy immediately called for his mom. A rattle drum jingled in his ears, soothing the little one. Sima gently asked, "Zhao Har, are you awake?" Another memory flashed, quote, "The two of them were hugging in a sea of fire." Screams echoed in her ears. "The Silima family has gone mad. He suddenly went crazy, burned down more than half the place. He committed suicide." Sima was stunned upon hearing this. A group of people threatened Sima. "Your brother, that lover of yours, betrayed the responsibility of the Sima family. An unforgivable crime. You must bear a daughter with Sima Xiao." Sima hugged the crying child tightly, almost lifeless. Finally, she made the difficult decision to strangle her son. Sima Xiao pleaded desperately, I don't want to. The group kept ordering Sima. "Once Sima Xiao is a little older, you must quickly mate with him to bear a child. The bloodline of Mount Feng must never be interrupted." Sima Xiao cried out, "Mother, if you don't have a daughter the first time, then keep having them, just keep giving birth. You're used to it anyway." Right, Sima Xiao was gradually running out of strength. As a mother, she couldn't bring herself to lay a hand on her son. Sima Xiao stared blankly at the scene before him. Even though he was young, he had to witness his mother commit suicide right in front of him, Sima said with a pained heart. "My son, let everything end here." He sensed the imminent departure. "Mother?" His call was unanswered, and only his heartbreaking scream echoed through space. "Sima, no." The lotus flower was ablaze. Zhao Yan suddenly woke up from the dream. She found it too dark around her. "Where the heck am I?" Her hand touched the lid. "It's so heavy. Is this a coffin? Am I buried alive?" As the lid was pushed open, the figure of Sima Xiao gradually appeared. She was very surprised. Sima Xiao coldly urged her, "Now that you're awake, come out." Zhu Yan was annoyed. "You actually stuffed me in a coffin. What exactly do you want?" But he just asked blandly, "What are you talking about?" She dejectedly replied, "Nothing. Never mind. Forget it. I won't curse him anymore. He's already so miserable." His whole family was harmed so terribly by those demon freaks from the Canthan Tianfu, Divine Guard Manor. It's no wonder some went crazy, some died, and some are constantly killing. Sima Xiao secretly observed Zhao Yan's expression. He moved closer and lightly pinched her chin, then guessed, "You want to curse me, don't you?" Zhu Yan honestly blurted out, "Yes," in her heart. She wailed, "Ancestors, why am I blurting out the truth again?" Sima Xiao looked expectantly amused. "Try cursing then." She didn't disappoint him, and started cursing like a machine. "You stupid idiot, I beep you, got it?" Her soul, hearing all the community guideline violating words, cried out, "Goodbye, my beloved friend." Zhao Yan thought despairingly. It was so hard to push open the coffin lid, and now it looks like it's going to be closed again. Am I really going to rest in peace underground? But before she could be melancholy for long, she heard him laughing in her ear, which surprised her. "What's wrong? You are so angry that you're stunned, bro." Sima Xiao stopped laughing. He looked at her with a very unreadable gaze, which made her tense up. What's he gonna do now? His hand slowly grabbed Zhu Yan's waist. He lifted her up and said gently, "Let's go." She was still bewildered. Sima Xiao carried her away, Zhao Yan asked curiously. Where are we going, ancestor? The two of them rode off on the giant black snake. Meanwhile, she took the opportunity to pry information from Sim Xiao. Why did my Shizu, Grandmaster, suddenly faint? He explained succinctly. You touched a poisonous flower. Zhu Yan paled and broke out in a cold sweat. Poisonous? But didn't you say only evil people make poisonous flowers bloom? He replied, that was just me lying to you. Oh, too. How can a person be purely good or purely evil? And how can a single flower decide? She understood. Oh, okay. He continued. Before death, if the mood is calm and happy, a spirit flower will form on the bone. Before death, if there is resentment and suffering, a poison flower will form. Zhu Yan repeated softly. Resentment and suffering. She thought to herself, the flower I picked must be the spirit flower that grew from his mother's bone essence. Her pain was so strong that even I was affected, giving me a terrible headache. You must be suffering a lot too. But, all things considered, I still have to thank him for saving me this time. But she realized, thank him for what? Wasn't I poisoned because of him in the first place? Thinking that, she started punching Sim Xiao relentlessly in her imagination. Zhao Yan was so angry that she was fuming, constantly patting her chest. I'm so pissed. But her patting hand stopped. Wait, why do I feel like my chest is like 2 sizes bigger? This heavy feeling is really full. It feels really good. No wonder when I lay down, I felt so oppressed in my chest. Sim Xiao noticed her silence and asked curiously, what's wrong? What are you thinking about? Zhao Yan blurted out. I think my chest suddenly got bigger. She also thought, not just my chest, my legs are longer too, I think. And the skin on my hands seems fairer and shinier. I really am beautiful enough to shine. Seeing Zhao Yan cupping her breasts with both hands, Sim Xiao was stunned. Breasts, huh? He reached out and squeezed her breast, making her blush with embarrassment. It's just 2 pieces of meat. What good is being so big? Zhu Yan ordered the owner of the hand that was kneading her breast. Take your hand down before you say that. But he refused, so she calculated. If that's the case, I can't take a loss. An eye for an eye, a touch for a touch. She also reached out and touched Sim Xiao's butt. His expression immediately darkened, causing Zhao Yan to retract her hand. Mom, his eyes are so scary, save me. Her hand was suddenly grabbed. Zhao Yan stuttered in fear, pleading, Ancestor, it hurts. In her heart, she panicked. Damn, he's 9 out of 10 going to break my wrist. Emergency situation, I have to save myself immediately. The way she saved herself was to grab his hand and place it on her breast. Please calm down here, please. If you like it, feel free to touch it as you please. Zhao Yan even added, why don't you give it a try? It feels exceptionally good, you know? In her heart, she smugly thought, a girl with a full and soft bosom. Who wouldn't like that? It's just dealing with a berserker. It's totally not a problem. Even Sim Xiao couldn't understand it. Strange, everyone else dies the moment I have the slightest intention to kill, so why is she able to soothe my anger and bloodlust time and time again? Zhao Yan sighed in relief as she observed him. That expression, great. He's probably calmed down now. Suddenly, he grabbed her hand tightly, his other arm wrapped around her waist, forcefully pulling Zhao Yan into his embrace. Zhao Yan felt a sudden jolt. Her heart pounded Stop, huh? Wait, what's going on here? She was surprised. Huh? Wait, what's going on here? Just then, a group of people entered and greeted them. Greetings, Grandmaster. Shi Tianlu reported to them. Grandmaster in this. Madam, please feel free to stay at White Deer Cliff. Everything has been prepared meticulously. In everyone's eyes, Zhao Yan was the woman who had captivated the Grandmaster. Zhu Yan felt indignant in her heart. I told you, I'm not any madam. Xin Tianlu became even more certain. Seeing the Grandmaster holding her so tightly, he must have taken a liking to this female disciple. He added, if you have any other requests, please let us know. We will definitely do our best. The disciple beside him chimed in. The sect leader is absolutely right. Sim Xiao coldly ordered them to leave. Get out. They responded, yes. When she returned to the room, a servant had already brought new clothes for Zhu Yan. Madam, these are the clothes prepared for you. Zhu Yan's eyes lit up when she saw the quality of the clothes. These clothes are so beautiful. I gotta dress up and doll myself up to really look like a woman. She enjoyed the fun time of changing clothes. Oh my gosh, suddenly having the beautiful body of a great beauty, I feel like I can live another 100 years. It feels so good to be a great beauty. While she was changing, Sim Xiao burst through the door, causing her to scream. Zhu Yan awkwardly covered herself. Wait, why am I covering myself? This damned ancestor. Does he not have a ding-dong? Or does he have a problem with his taste? Henshin. He touched my chest and didn't feel anything? He completely ignored my gorgeous curves? Sim Xiao didn't care at all, and dragged her straight out of the room. Follow me! She was also very curious. Where do you want to go? Who's calmly? I've already said it. When I go out, everyone must die. Now of course we're gonna kill people. Zhao Yan wasn't very interested in this. Sorry, I'll take my leave. Sim Xiao asked darkly. You don't want to go? Zhao Yan blurted out. I don't want to! In her heart, she cried silent tears. Damn it, boss. You activated the truth-telling buff again. Sim Xiao threatened her. If you don't go, I'll kill you first. To protect her little life, Zhu Yan changed clothes in a hurry. I'm ready, let's go, Sim Xiao pressed her. Why don't you want to go? She answered very straightforwardly. Because I'm afraid of seeing dead people. Sim Xiao supported his forehead helplessly and wondered, what the heck? Did the demon realm send a spy who's afraid of corpses? Zhu Yan put on a defeated look and left with Sim Xiao. She prayed in her heart, I hope the scene ahead won't make me want to puke. Suddenly, a fragrance wafted into her nose. Is that the smell of meat? Oh man, it's been so long since I've had meat. There was faint music from the forest. And someone shouted, Senior brother, bottoms up, she guessed. Bottoms up. Wait, could it be a banquet? A low-level disciple who had never met Sim Xiao stopped them. Halt! Which hall are you disciples from? How dare you barge into Heavenly Senior Brother's flower banquet? Get lost. Sim Xiao released his murderous aura again. Zhu Yan sighed inwardly. Crap, she covered her face in fear. The ancestor came to kill people in the first place. This blind little brat ran over to provoke him. Is he tired of living? She heard a miserable cry for mercy in her ear. I knew it, the scream is so tragic. But she realized something was wrong and opened her eyes to see what was happening. Wait, can the dead still beg for mercy? She saw Sim Xiao dunking the guy upside down into the water next to them, while the other disciples kept trying to persuade him. Slow down, Hidden Blade Lord. Zhu Yan was completely confused. What's going on? Sim Xiao said coldly. Keep shouting. Why aren't you shouting anymore? His hand pressed the guy's face into the water again. Keep struggling. The guy kept begging for mercy. Zhu Yan couldn't help but laugh when she thought, this action looks like a big turtle. Sim Xiao heard her laugh and stopped. He called her. Come here, eat whatever you want. Her eyes lit up as she looked at the table in front of her. This feast is pretty lavish. After stuffing their faces, they hit the road again. Zhu Yan thought to herself, I barely digested that free meal, and now the Grandmaster is dragging me to this so-called Spirit Cliff Mountain platform. Wonder what kind of shenanigans he's planning this time. The Spirit Cliff Mountain platform loomed into view. Shi Tianlu bowed respectfully. Grandmaster, what brings you here today? Sim Xiao cut right to the chase. All of you, get up on that platform and fight to the death. Within the time it takes an incense stick to burn, determine the winner. If it's a tie, then you all die. Hearing this, he immediately wanted to refuse. Grandmaster, if you just want to watch some martial arts sparring, there's no need for a death match. How about? Sim Xiao dropped a tantalizing offer. The disciples of the immortal abode used to temper themselves with life and death battles, but now they've degenerated to this point. Today, if anyone can kill 100 people, they'll be rewarded with a petal of the Phoenix Mountain blood condensation flower. Everyone was instantly hyped. What? That's the Phoenix Mountain blood condensation flower? One petal can increase your cultivation by 1,000 years, Sim Xiao commanded. Begin. They lunged at each other, hacking and slashing. Just one petal, and I can easily break through my current realm without any effort. For this flower, 100 deaths are worth it. The blood condensation flower is mine. Sim Xiao uncomfortably covered his mouth. The greed of these people disgusts me, Zhu Yan asked with concern. Grandmaster, are you all right? He turned to look at her. Only she doesn't have that disgusting stuff on her. Suddenly being hugged by Sim Xiao, Zhu Yan was surprised. What's wrong? She voiced her inner doubts. Grandmaster, it seems like they all want that flower, but doesn't that flower require the blood of someone to be used? Sim Xiao explained with a cold laugh. Not my blood, but the blood of the Phoenix Mountain clan. The flesh and blood of the Sema clan are all spirit medicine. Even though I'm the only one left, with so many years of accumulation, they definitely still have some usable flesh and blood on hand. Zhu Yan finally realized. So, isn't that? Sim Xiao confirmed her thoughts. Just eating people. In this world, where isn't there people eating people? The crowd continued their relentless slaughter. The blood condensation flower is mine. Anyone who gets in my way must die. Zhu Yan also felt nauseous. Yuan Cheng, seeing them hugging in the chaos, plotted secretly. I didn't expect the From Depths Dao Lord to actually be infatuated with a woman. Looks like I need to quickly win him over, in case anything happens later. He smirked. It's time we met. After the death match ended, the two of them returned to their private courtyard. Night had fallen. Zhu Yan rushed to her beloved bed. Every day is more tiring than fighting. My precious bed, only you can save me from this misery. Suddenly, she saw something placed in the middle. Huh, what's this? It's so pretty. Like a love letter. The letter read, Tonight, at Zai hour, beneath the white deer cliff, beside the azure indigo flower, don't come and don't leave. Zhu Yan was confused. This is too vague. Could it be that the original owner's secret lover set up a secret date? She burned the letter immediately after. Not going. I'm not the original owner. It would be weird to go. The letter was burned to ashes. The content within gradually burned away, but she couldn't fall asleep. because of the encroaching coldness. It's so cold. Why is it so cold? When she clearly saw the person lying next to her, she understood. Damn it, no wonder it's so cold. It turned out to be Sim Xiao, the mobile air conditioner. There are so many rooms and beds at White Deer Cliff. Why does he have to crawl into my bed? Could it be that he wants to sleep with me? No way. But he's as cold as a dead person. Zhu Yan reached out to touch Sim Xiao. Isn't he really dead? Phew. Luckily, even though he's cold, he still has a heartbeat. He's not dead. And his chest muscles are still soft, hand buffed. If that's the case, I can rest easy and sleep. However, Sim Xiao woke up. Do you plan to just sleep like that? He startled her. Grandmaster, you're awake? He repeated the question. I'm here. How can you still sleep? She invited him. How about you share the blanket too? Sim Xiao frowned. Is that the point? Zhao Yan was blank. Unbeknownst to her, blood flowed from the corner of her mouth. Then what is the point? She immediately fell into Sim Xiao's arms, clutching her stomach. My stomach, it hurts. Zhao Yan gasped. It hurts so much. Sim Xiao checked her over and thought to himself. The demonic realm's methods aren't as weak as I thought. Isn't she supposed to be a spy from the demonic realm? Why does she keep getting backfired like this? He slit his own wrist to use his blood to detoxify Zhu Yan. As the blood dripped into her mouth, Sim Xiao urged, drink. But the corners of her mouth remained tightly shut. Sim Xiao thought in annoyance. Can't get it in. I really want to dislocate her jaw already. He had no choice but to use the manual method of mouth transmission, grumbling in his heart. So troublesome. I used to just kill people. Since when did I start saving them? Why do I even have to save her? How weird. Zhao Yan finally started to react gradually. Sim Xiao felt too hot. This woman's cultivation is too low to withstand my blood. Saving someone is even harder than killing them. Can't handle it. If that's the case, then just eat a few more Fengshan blood coagulation flowers to increase your cultivation. That way, you'll naturally be able to withstand my blood. A day had passed. Zhao Yan woke up with a start. Utterly stunned. Didn't I have a stomachache and vomit blood last night? Why do I feel so full of energy now? Is this for real? She subtly sensed that a lotus had bloomed in her sea of consciousness. OMG, why is there a flower in my sea of consciousness now? I feel incredibly powerful now. Like I can move mountains and fill seas in the blink of an eye. Zhao Yan was pulled out of her consciousness by a noise beside her. Seeing Sim Xiao lying weakly nearby, Zhao Yan called out worriedly. Shizu, she realized. His face looks awful, and there's a wound on his hand too. Last night I was in so much pain I was half dead. My memories are blurry. It seems like he gave me blood to drink. She recalled. Blood, he saved me. The strange feeling in my body is also because of him. Zhao Yan clearly remembered being kissed by Sim Xiao. My first kiss is gone. She gently touched his hand. Why isn't this wound showing any signs of healing? You're clearly a crazed killer, so why do you keep saving me? I came to this world for no reason, and I'm just taking things as they come. This isn't my home. I just need to survive, and sooner or later I'll return to my own world. I was just jokingly calling you boss. Actually, I was just living life passively. But you've saved me time and time again. How can I continue to ignore it? She remembered that the original owner had a leaf from Qinggu Heavenly Vine, which was very useful for treating injuries. The leaf fell onto Sim Xiao's wound. Sensing the change, Zhao Yan exclaimed joyfully. It worked! The first thing Sim Xiao said to her after waking up was, My constitution is special. Wounds don't heal easily. She asked happily. Shizu, you're awake. He asked coldly. How much of my blood did you drink? Do you even know? Zhao Yan only noticed it now. She hadn't paid attention before, but now that he said it, she realized. Seeing her covering her mouth like that, Sim Xiao threatened her. If you dare throw up, I'll kill you. Outside, a maidservant's voice rang out. Dao Jun, Madame, breakfast is ready. Zhao Yan hurriedly opened the door and asked, What's for breakfast today? She thought to herself. Let's quickly eat something tasty, otherwise I'll keep feeling like my mouth is full of blood. A snack was served. Along with a letter, Zhao Yan cursed inwardly. Damn it, this thing again. The letter read, At the hour of Zai, under the White Deer Cliff. If you don't arrive on time, your identity will be exposed, and you won't live past 3 days. Zhao Yan, after reading, questioned. This is bad. Do I have another identity? I'm done for. If Shizu finds out, will he chop me on the spot? Just then, Sim Xiao snatched the letter away. He ordered her, go meet them. So this dude sees Zhu Yan finally show up at their meeting spot, and goes all cold. You made me wait forever. I asked you out like 1,000,000 times, and you dodged me. Now that you've hooked up with Sim Xiao, you're gonna cut me off completely. Zhu Yan's just scratching her head like, what's with this ex-boyfriend speech? This guy has to be the original owner's old flame. She takes the initiative. We're over, okay? Don't come looking for me anymore. Yuan Chang gets all worked up. What nonsense are you spouting? Don't forget, Your life is still in my hands. Just one squeeze of this bell, and the bone-corroding poison inside you, a blur of motion. And the little bell's snatched right out of his hand. Zhu Yan's all curious. Holding it up and checking it out, I thought it was something super important, but it's just this. She crushes it without a second thought, leaving Yuan Cheng speechless. How are you still okay? You're even faster than before. Wait, you're not in the chi refining stage anymore. Yuan Cheng's freaking out. I can't even see your current level. Sim Xiao not only cured you, he also boosted your cultivation. After checking, he realizes her cultivation has skyrocketed. Chi refining, foundation establishment, golden core, nascent soul, spirit transformation, void refinement, body integration, great ascension, tribulation transcendence. She powered through it all. He immediately jumps into action. Based on what? You deserve to die. Zhao Yan throws her hands up to block. Why is he attacking already, she thinks. Even though Shizu boosted me to the spirit transformation stage in an instant, my skills aren't polished yet, she decides. Whatever, I'll just wing it. But little does she know, her winging it has Sim Xiao guiding her from behind the scenes. Until everything goes silent, Zhu Yan finally dares to open her eyes and peek. Did I do it? She's overjoyed, staring at her hands. Am I really that strong? Sim Xiao walks up and immediately starts criticizing. You're such a fake spirit transformation cultivator. You couldn't even beat a nascent soul. Zhu Yan's shocked to see him. Shizu. So he really was watching me. Yuan Cheng can't believe what he's seeing. Zhu Yan, you betrayed me because you love Sim Xiao. You're a spy from the demon realm, and you actually love Sim Xiao. How ridiculous. He's so cold he'll kill you sooner or later. Sim Xiao starts gathering energy in his hand, seeing the killing intent rolling off of him. Yuan Cheng knows he's done for. Sima Zhao says coldly. How amusing. A blast of power shoots straight at Yuan Cheng. Zhao Yan's panicking. I'm dead. Shizu knows everything. Wait, am I next? His gloomy voice echoed. You're a demon realm spy. Tell me, should I kill you or not? She muttered. If you kill me now, wouldn't saving me yesterday be pointless? He coldly retorted. What did you say? Speak up, she replied. I said, you shouldn't kill me, Sima Xiao exclaimed with interest. Why? Zhu Yan quickly made up an excuse. Because I've abandoned the darkness and followed the light. I'm on Master's side now. He thought he misheard. I'm the light. She hurriedly corrected. Ah, no, I mean abandoned the light and followed the darkness. My bad, he asked her. So, you don't want to leave me? She firmly replied. I don't want to. Zhao Yan thought to herself. Wait a minute, why did I say, I don't want to? Could it be that my depraved life has eroded me to this extent? Sima Zhao complained. You were useless just now. You couldn't even handle a Yuan Ying stage cultivator, Zhao Yan embarrassedly admitted. Yeah, I thought so too. I'm definitely not as good as Master. In her heart, she was unwilling. PSH. I only became a Huashan stage cultivator a day ago, who can immediately be proficient in fighting. Sima Zhao pulled her closer. It's alright. You'll get used to it after killing a few more people. Zhu Yan quickly objected. I don't wanna kill people, he coldly asked. What if I force you to kill? Zhao Yan stammered. Then you kill me. Sima Xiao stared at her. You think I really wouldn't dare to kill you? He waved his hand towards a distant courtyard. Zhu Yan didn't understand what he was planning. Sima Xiao led her into that courtyard. She was still curious. What is this place? He replied. Flying Pavilion. Everyone inside was also surprised. What was that just now? It felt like the flying pavilion was shaking. The sky gradually darkened. Sima Xiao led Zhao Yan upstairs. Everyone who saw them gasped. Look, it's the Daoju. A second later, everyone in the flying pavilion was blown away. Sima Xiao reminded her. Stay here and reflect on yourself. You're not allowed to come out until you've finished reflecting. Zhu Yan was locked inside the room, dazed. Master just threw everyone out. Reflect. Just me. So that means the boss is gone. I get a day off. Zhao Yan looked up at the night sky and sighed. Wow. The moonlight is seriously gorgeous. She wished every day could be this awesome, just chilling alone in bed. Like, ultimate bliss. Sunlight streamed through the window, rudely waking Zhu Yan up. Ugh, already morning, she wondered. Then a voice popped up. All you do is sleep. Zhao Yan jumped, realizing her Shifu, Sima Xiao, was lying next to her. What are you even doing? She asked. As she reached out to touch his hand, she freaked out, realizing she'd been turned into something. What the heck are these claws? Turns out it was Sima Zhao's doing. Zhao Yan grilled him. Is this your great deed? Why did you turn me into this? Change me back, pronto. Sima Xiao picked her up, chuckling. It's not like I wanted to turn you into this. You wanted it yourself. I gave you a few illusion pills. They turn you into the image that leaves the deepest impression on your heart. Zhu Yan was bummed about being a river otter. She scolded Sima Xiao. Are you nuts? Why'd you randomly feed me that stuff? Sima Xiao laughed. Yep, a river otter indeed. Zhu Yan begged him to change her back. Sima Xiao was like, chill out, let's get out of here first. With that, Sima Xiao whisked her away from the pavilion. Zhu Yan was bewildered. Where are we going now? He just smirked. We're gonna find someone. A while later, Sima Xiao brought Zhu Yan to a place called the Yan Manor, inside a city. Guards stood watch outside the manor. From inside, a voice boomed. You unfilial son. You finally decided to come back. The Yan family head scolded Sima Xiao for wasting time in trashy places. You'd be better off staying home and popping out a few kids. Sim Xiao didn't give a hoot about the Yan family head's nagging. He just calmly asked about a little girl's whereabouts. The Yan family head freaked, realizing the guy in front of him wasn't his son. "Who the heck are you?" he demanded. Sim Xiao replied coolly, "I'm your ancestor, Zhao Yan." Thought he might be telling the truth, since they'd already hit up a brothel looking for Yan Gongzi before coming to the manor. Zhao Yan was getting scared. Sim Xiao was seriously pissed, and she didn't dare ask why. The old man didn't seem keen to answer, so Sim Xiao used his power to make him spill the beans. "Where's the girl? Where did you send her?" the old man blurted. We sent her to Mount Baifeng. Messengers are coming to pick her up in 2 days. We can't get close, we can only stay outside." Sim Xiao was pleased with the answer. "I'll go with you then," he said. From Sim Xiao's actions, Zhao Yan realized he was looking for probably not just Yan Gongzi or the Yan family, but even more people related to his bloodline. They were all at this Mount Baifeng place. 2 days later, while they were sleeping, Sim Xiao had a nightmare about things that happened in the past. He dreamed of his mother, Sima Yi, smiling at him even though she was badly injured, saying, "The spirit mountain flame is yours now." Back in the day, the Fengshan Sima clan was the closest to the gods, but no one knew that after the gods vanished, the Sima clan grew weaker and weaker. The Shi clan and other families who used to serve them became stronger. Eventually, the Silma clan went from being masters to birds in a cage, carefully maintained in a golden cage. Sima Xiao's mother, Sima Yi, used her own flesh and blood to purify the spirit mountain flame and implanted the purified flame into Sima Xiao's body. From then on, he and the flame became one, sharing life and death. Thanks to the spirit flame, Sima Xiao's cultivation level increased rapidly. The Shi clan and others had to be wary of him because of the flame. They tried everything to please and win over Sima Xiao, but they didn't know he could easily see through their hearts. The lies, the greed, the fear, all kinds of malice. "It disgusts me." His mother, Sima Yi, had once wanted to kill him, but at the last moment, she softened, gave up, and passed on to him only gentleness, love, and cherishment. Droplets of water fell, bringing a warm feeling. Zhu Yan wondered, "It's been morning for ages, Shifu. Why are you still asleep?" Sima Xiao woke up and realized Zhao Yan was splashing water on his face to wake him up. Sima Xiao felt a bit tired and said, "I just had a dream." Zhao Yan was surprised. "A dream? An ancestor who hasn't slept for centuries. And you were dreaming." Sima Xiao looked at Zhu Yan and felt she was the strangest person he'd ever met. He didn't have strong dislike for her, nor strong affection, like roadside weeds that allowed him to calm down. Sima Xiao threw a golden pill at her, making Zhu Yan scream in pain. He told her to wait for him there. At the same time, someone knocked on the door and said, "Senior, the people here to take us to Mount Baishan are here." Then he disguised himself and left the room. Zhu Yan was thrilled he wasn't taking her along. Could this be real? Is there really such a good thing? A moment later at Bakfang Mountain, the mystical scenery remained unchanged. Sima Xiao, in the guise of young Master Yan, had a dark expression as he listened to the person opposite him giving orders. "Just bring him here." Before him were a man and a woman. The young man facing him extended his hand. "Give me the child." When Master Yan learned Ma Xiao's true identity, he became even more aware of the changing atmosphere, worried sick. "Crap, this is bad." The two hadn't realized anything was amiss and turned to Master Yan, questioning him. "Does your son not understand the rules? Hurry up and offer the child. The ignorant brat dares to offend the sacred mountain." The old man panicked inwardly, apologizing repeatedly. Yes, sorry. Only then did Ma Xiao reveal a face of disgust, scoffing coldly. "Sacred mountain." The young man before him, still unaware of his own limitations, raised his hand, moving his magic power to show off. "Hand it over now." Ma Xiao obliged, throwing the baby towards him. Master Yan caught Ma Xiao's strange moment. Was he smiling? The two people opposite him looked at the child in their hands, exclaiming uncomfortably, "This is just an empty shell." The young man glared at him angrily. "You have some nerve! You dare deceive us!" The girl beside him was equally furious. The damned Yan family, but all they received was Ma Xiao's mocking smile. He used only a bit of his power to injure their chi and blood. The girl, who was audacious earlier, finally realized the gravity of the situation. What's going on? This person kills a Yuanying stage cultivator as easily as picking a flower. At this moment she looked up, a trace of horror flashing in her eyes. Ma Xiao didn't bother hiding it, glancing at her with a cold expression. "Lead me inside." The Fengshan clan has been promoting the maintenance of pure bloodlines, but there are bound to be rebels, leaving behind descendants with other clans. Cut to another location. The scene was hazy, and all that could be heard were gasps of breath. Inside was a pool of water. Slender hands, gripped tightly by the person opposite, emerged from the surface, accompanied by broken sounds. It was a couple struggling to do the deed. This was a place where those without pure bloodlines were treated as tools for reproduction, and beside them stood guards, regulating the activity, constantly urging, "Hurry up and work! Don't stop!" These descendants, called impure by the Fengshan clan, were gathered by some people and brought here. Ma Xiao, just entering, asked, "So, all the branch families with ancestral blood of the Fengshan clan are here." They had to work as hard as they could, urged on by the regulators, and after giving birth, these women would be taken elsewhere. If these people were viewed as animals, this would be a large farm. Women nearing their due dates were lined up, like an industrial conveyor belt, with people in charge of delivering the babies, and the babies were born, their fates already sealed. After they grew up at Bakfang Mountain, they would continue the task of mating and giving birth. But before she could finish speaking, Ma Zhao twisted her neck slightly, ending her life. A murderous intent appeared on his face, and a sinister smile said, "Xi Tianlu, so this is your secret. You raise the branch descendants of the Fengshan clan like livestock in this place." With that, Ma Zhao couldn't help but laugh loudly. His power erupted, causing everything around him to change, and the people in the pool below screamed and panicked. It was said that this Xizang Daojun was raised by Qingyu Daojun, but he couldn't become as kind and upright as Qingyu Daojun. His temper was extremely bad, and Ma Zhao was full of hatred that was hard to suppress. It was known that a high monk from the Buddhist kingdom, hidden in the Shangyun Buddhist temple, was invited to calm his inner demons. The two characters, Si Zhang of Xizang Daojun, were given by that high monk. Cut to another scene, where the storyteller slammed his gavel on the table. Ting Yan looked at the people below cheering and sighed, "Wow, truly a hidden master among the common folk. Even many disciples in the Kanya, then Immortal Palace, don't know about their ancestors' affairs, but he speaks as if he's chopping vegetables." In the evening, Ting Yan returned to her inn, happily pushing open the door. Today was truly an eye-opening experience, but suddenly she jumped back, screaming, "Grand, grand ancestor!" because his gloomy voice rang out, "I'm about to die." He was opposite her, covered in blood, in a dark mood. "Since I was born, countless people have wanted to take my life, but I don't want to die. Whoever wants to take my life, I will take theirs." Then suddenly, Ma Zhao looked at Ting Yan, his pale lips slightly curving up. But if now you want my life, I can give it to you. Do you want it?" Zhu Yan's face darkened upon hearing that. She plopped down on the ground, looking so small and pathetic. Internally, she was screaming, "Why can't I keep up with this big shot's thinking? Every time, I feel like I've missed 10 episodes. Sima Zhao didn't let her off the hook and suddenly picked her up. "What are you spacing out for? Didn't you say you wanted my life, Zhu Yan?" Scared out of her wits, cried out desperately. "Chirp, chirp, chirp," he said coldly without any expression. "Speak human." Zhu Yan felt a little helpless and cursed inwardly. "Damn it, I'm an otter now. Isn't this how I'm supposed to sound?" Thinking this, she honestly replied, "No, chirp." Sima Zhao sat down on the chair in annoyance and questioned, "Why don't you have any ambition? Isn't this your mission? If I die at your hands, it would still be beneficial to you, right?" Zhao Yan, who was released onto the table next to him, retorted, "My mission isn't important. I don't want to kill people. And I don't want your life." Zhu Yan didn't forget to silently argue in her heart, "So what if I don't have ambition? I just want to lie down and live an ordinary life." But she still looked worriedly at Sima Xiao. "Speaking of which, how about finding a doctor to examine you? Or eating some spiritual pills? Don't give up on treatment." Sima Xiao probed. "You really don't want it?" She answered firmly, "I don't want it." Sima Zhao grabbed her again. "I'm giving you one last chance," Zhu Yan shouted reflexively. "Chirp, chirp, chirp." "But what the heck?" The young man looked at the girl with a weird smile and suggested, "If that's the case, then you die with me." The young maiden considered, her eyes open to a whole new world, her little mind freezing up. Why did he come to this conclusion? Sima Xiao seemed thoughtful after seeing her standing still there. He hugged her and stroked her soft fur. "I already want you to die, so why aren't you running away? Just die like this." Those people's expressions will definitely be interesting. Zhu Yan thought in a mess. What should I do? He says he's about to die, but he's not even looking for a doctor. I really can't stand his appearance covered in blood. Outside, it was raining heavily, Sima Zhao said darkly. The Fengshan clan has been completely annihilated, and the foundation of the Kanshen Immortal Palace is about to be severed. These flourishing flowers, nourished by flesh and blood, will quickly wither. The #1 Immortal Palace will only last for 100 years. Outside, the Taoist cultivators of the Dao sect were flying in on clouds. But when they heard his laughter, they were all apprehensive. Shi Tianlu, with a lofty and superior demeanor, shouted loudly, "Sima Xiao, you are unworthy of being revered as the Grandmaster, yet you turned around and destroyed the 1,000-year foundation of the Immortal Palace." Amidst the sound of collisions through the window, he warned, "We can't spare you today." Inside, Sima Xiao laughed mockingly. 1,000-year foundation of the Immortal Palace? Isn't it the foundation of the Shi family? The Shi family exhausted their efforts to build Mount Baifeng. Wasn't it just to completely seize control of the Kanshen Immortal Palace and rise up to be the masters? Shi Tianlu angrily roared and charged in. "Nonsense! Capture him!" Sima Zhao's eyes turned sharp. "On what basis do you want to capture me?" Saying this, he stood up, and his whole body exuded a great force as he continued. Wishful thinking, Zhu Yan clung tightly to him to avoid being swept away by the force. With just a bit of inner power, he had already beaten the Taoist cultivators outside into a bloody mess, screaming in pain. One of the Taoist cultivators frowned uncomfortably, looking in Sima Xiao's direction, thinking to himself, "Damn Sima Xiao, he's like a madman, he doesn't need his life. but I still have to live and go back? At this moment, a fierce hand reached through the frame of fire. Sim Xiao appeared and disappeared from behind, grabbing his shoulder. "Where are you running to?" he screamed in terror. "Ah, no!" The people in his team looked at each other hesitantly. Where did he appear from? I can't see clearly at all. The Taoist cultivator had already had his spiritual energy sucked dry, and only a dried-up husk remained. Shi Tianlu warned in shock, "Don't let him get close. He'll suck away your spiritual energy and cultivation." Sima Xiao smiled meaningfully. "It's useless." But the one who knew him best was still Zhao Yan. "That's not right. Grandmaster looks like he has the upper hand, but he's actually already exhausted." She worriedly clung to Sima Xiao, looking at his body that was about to collapse. He looked at Zhu Yan at this moment. "Are you scared? What's there to be afraid of? Maybe what you're really afraid of is facing that bunch of dogs." She shook her head upon hearing this. He had been forcing himself until now, and it hadn't been easy. "I'm afraid he can't take it anymore." Thinking this, she gently snuggled into Sima Xiao. "If you're really in pain, then let it be. You're going to die soon anyway, so there's no need to prolong your suffering for them." But the aura on her body suddenly stunned Sima Xiao. He involuntarily hugged her. "What is she saying? It seems like I can't hear anymore." He closed his eyes to enjoy the feeling at the moment. But there's no malice on her like those other people, only a strange, soft, and bittersweet emotion. It's like the time I hugged her to rest. The whole world suddenly became quiet.
At that moment, Zhu Yan felt like she was falling into a huge river, a flame starting to flicker in her chest. Because of the spirit fire within her, she had to soak herself in a cold spring year-round just to coexist with it. But right now, the discomfort was at its peak. Her body felt constantly cold, a bone-chilling cold. Even though her blood felt like it was boiling and her whole body was burning, she still felt freezing. On the other side, Sima Xiao's gaze turned dark as he looked at Zhao Yan. Even Sima Xiao couldn't quite figure out what he was feeling right now. He only felt comfortable when he was around Zhu Yan. But she was different. She was obviously weak and had clearly been through so much, and yet she was always gentle, warm, soft, and light. Noticing his unusual behavior, Zhu Yan spotted something strange and looked at him. "Master Ancestor." At this moment, Sima Xiao blurted out, "Whatever, forget it, I suddenly..." Hearing that, Zhu Yan was even more confused. Whatever what? He then muttered to himself, "Suddenly, I don't want her to die with me anymore." Thinking of that, he waved his hand, casting a spell to create a path of fire. The surrounding scenery was enveloped by Sima Xiao's power. Seeing this, Shi Tianlu urgently shouted, "Not good, he's planning to leave, stop him." The disciples in the sect tried their best, but they couldn't withstand the power Sima Xiao unleashed. Covering their eyes in discomfort, they replied, "Sect leader, that's the spirit fire of Fengshan, we can't get through." On Sima Xiao's side, he shot straight down like a meteor, creating a huge streak of light. Zhao Yan clung tightly to his shoulders, worriedly thinking, "So much blood, he's really strong, but he was injured before and has been holding on until now, as if he doesn't feel any pain." At this moment, she had also transformed back into her human form, tightly hugging Sima Xiao's neck, feeling impressed. "If it were me, I definitely couldn't do it." Finally, that huge streak of light crashed heavily into a forest. After the two landed, Zhu Yan was enveloped in a cloud of dust, coughing uncomfortably. The first thing she cared about was Sima Xiao, her eyes looking at him in fear. "Master, are you all right?" A black snake appeared next to them, making a sound that caught Zhu Yan's attention. She happily stood up and walked towards it. "Snake bro, why are you here?" Sima Xiao then spoke softly. "I told it to come." Zhao Yan turned back to look at him in surprise. The black snake quickly crawled towards Sima Xiao, lovingly nuzzling his neck. He gently stroked it and said, "You go with this idiot. Get lost, you stupid snake. I'm not gonna kill you anymore. You don't even know how to run away." Hearing that, Zhu Yan just stood there silently looking at him. Then, she immediately ran off in the other direction, but it was to push the black snake aside and pull Sima Xiao up. The sudden action caught him off guard, his eyes widening in shock. He looked at Zhou Yan in disbelief as she supported him, asking, "What's wrong? Do you want to die?" Zhou Yan calmly replied. "Actually, I don't want to," Sima Xiao then asked. "Aren't you trying to die by bringing me along? You're not that stupid, right?" She lowered her head and replied gloomily, "I'm not stupid." Then she explained, "You saved me last time, so I have to repay you this time." Then she said to the black snake, "Bro, I'm counting on you next. Please use your fastest speed to carry us forward." The black snake was a little surprised, but still nodded vigorously. In just a moment, it had grown 10 times larger. Zhu Yan supported Sima Xiao, lost in thought. If it was just me, it wouldn't matter if I died, but since there's another ancestor here, I have to try a little harder. Her eyes filled with determination, affirming to herself, "Gotta run." After settling down on the black snake, Zhu Yan looked at Sima Xiao and asked, "Master Ancestor, where should we run to now to be safe?" He immediately replied, Nowhere is safe. If you guys don't leave, they'll catch up and kill you later, and I'll kill them to avenge you. Hearing that, Zhu Yan was speechless. Your logic is surprisingly reasonable. It's really useless to reason with a crazy person, but the person who said he would avenge Zhu Yan couldn't hold on any longer and fell onto her, scaring Zhu Yan. Master Ancestor, wake up! Suddenly, a beam of bright light shone directly into her eyes. Ahead was a Buddhist monk. Zhu Yan was a little scared. We've wandered into someone else's territory, the monk calmly asked. Since the two of you are destined to come here, why not stay? That master was like water skimming across a lake. His feet stepped on the water's surface, sending droplets flying. Zhu Yan, riding on the black snake, stared at the master. Clearly, the little snake wasn't a fan. Ding Yan worriedly supported Zhu Yan, while he cautiously blurted out, "Bald-headed monk." Then he warned Ding Yan, "Fall back." Hearing this, she was surprised and thought, could it be that this ancestor has a strong will to survive when facing danger, and immediately regains his vitality? He can even stand up. Thinking this, she anxiously said, "Don't push yourself." He stubbornly remained on guard. "Did you come to kill me or save me?" The master opposite, radiating light, said with clear eyes, "Amitabha." Whether to kill or save depends on the female benefactor. Suddenly being addressed, Ding Nian pointed at herself, startled. Then, looking at Zhu Yan beside her, she hesitated and whispered, Grand Ancestor, what does that mean?" But before she could hear an answer, Zhu Yan collapsed. At this point, Ding Nian's little heart screamed, "He's clearly exhausted. Why is he still forcing himself to stand?" The master on the other side calmly smiled and looked at her. "It seems his injuries are indeed serious. Even so, he can still control himself. Female benefactor, please follow this humble monk. I have a small favor to ask." A thought popped into Ding Nian's head. This eminent monk seems to know our ancestor. Could he be the great monk who gave our ancestor the Dharma name, Si Zhang, back then? A moment later, inside the wooden house, the master recounted, "Many years ago, this humble monk had the chance to meet Zhu Yan once. At that time, he showed extraordinary wisdom and deep thoughts, and Zhu Yan had been bandaged and was lying quietly on the bed." The master added, "This humble monk gave him the Dharma name, Si Zhang, hoping he would be compassionate towards all living beings and hide the killing intent within his heart. But this humble monk once saw in the divination that he would use his body to disrupt the entire cultivation world. He will destroy the Kanth gods, slaughter mortals, turn fertile land into scorched earth, transform paradises into hells, and cause the extinction of living beings, committing sins that reach the heavens. But this string of prayer beads is originally a seal, and also a spiritual medicine." Hearing this, Ding Nian was shocked and frightened. So the high monk came to exterminate the demons. The master opposite continued with a smile. But everything has a turning point. In that bloody future, this old monk saw a glimmer of hope. This humble monk left a Buddhist bead, both to suppress the killing intent and to help clear the mind. When the killing heart arises, there will be boundless pain. But this wooden string is both a seal and a spiritual medicine. Only someone destined to untie the Buddhist beads can save him from this life and death tribulation. Ding Nian asked, confused. "A fated person." As if realizing something, she pointed at herself and asked, startled, "Master, are you saying that I am the fated person?" He smiled with satisfaction and replied, "That's right." Zhu Yan then glared at Sim Xiao, resentfully saying, "This destined person theory is totally a transmigrator standard. Even a salted fish like me can't escape this fate." Hesitantly, she raised her foot and asked cautiously, "So, should I give it a try?" The old monk replied expressionlessly. Without hesitation, Zhu Yan yanked off the rope around her ankle. She looked at the rope with a bit of apprehension. "Do I really have to take it off? Can't I just break it?" The monk's satisfied expression vanished at the sight before him. As expected, the benefactor is Sim Xiao's vitality, and the vitality of the common people. In the future, I hope the benefactor will advise Sim Xiao and lead him toward the path of goodness." Zhu Yan looked around frantically, searching for the monk. Master, don't rush off. Are you just afraid of getting into trouble?" Then, she hesitantly held the life-saving elixir in her hand. A life-saving elixir, tied to the foot. Can it really be used? Whatever, it's not like I'm the one using it. Might as well risk it since we're all gonna die anyway. Thinking so, Zhu Yan quickly shoved the pill into Sima Xiao's mouth. "Here, you take it." As soon as the pill entered his mouth, Sima Xiao's entire body was enveloped by a surge of energy. Zhu Yan felt like she had broadened her horizons. Wow, the wound is healing. The elixir is truly miraculous. Then, she cast a spell cheerfully. "I'll lend a hand too." Sima Xiao's entire body was enveloped in a layer of water. Seeing the results before her, Zhu Yan was excited, her eyes sparkling. "I'm truly a genius. With this liquid cocoon, our Grandmaster will be lively and kicking tomorrow, continuing to cause trouble, and I can continue to be a salted fish, right?" Perfect. The little fire spirit appeared, grumbling. What are you standing there for? This guy's about to die. Zhu Yan asked, confused. What nonsense are you talking about? Grandmaster already took the elixir. It explained impatiently. What do you understand? This medicine only treats external injuries. Sim Xiao wanted to perish together, and even his divine soul was almost burnt clean. Now his spiritual palace is in chaos, and his divine consciousness is dissipating. Saying that, it shouted loudly, he's dying. Hearing that, Zhu Yan asked worriedly. Then what should I do? It replied calmly. You enter his spiritual palace and piece his soul back together. Zhu Yan exclaimed, startled. Don't joke around. I may be a noob, but I know that the spiritual palace is a cultivator's most private place. Grandmaster's cultivation is much higher than mine. How can I just enter it? The picky little fire spirit pointed and said, just try it. Doesn't he like you a lot? Maybe you can get in. Zhu Yan touched her chin hesitantly. Where do you think he likes me? It replied impatiently. I don't care where he likes you. Stop wasting time and go in, charge. Zhao Yan looked at Sim Xiao with despair. Oh God, we're really dead this time. Thinking that, she still gently held his face and kissed him. The spiritual palace is like the door to the mind, and everyone's is different. For someone with deep defenses and heavy killing intent, the spiritual palace must be full of danger. For example, Sim Xiao's. Inside the consciousness, Sim Xiao's figure appeared. She fell into the consciousness and shouted in disbelief. Ah! Why could I get in so easily? Tingan landed softly on the ground. Her expression turned sour as she took in the surroundings. Oh my God, how could his spiritual domain be so dilapidated? Seriously, the scenery around here shows absolutely no signs of life. Suddenly, Tingan noticed something else. Can I really save him, huh? She exclaimed in disbelief. Holy crap, are these all fragments of his soul? She reached out, trying to gather each piece of the spirit. No, don't disappear. Even if I don't know what to do, I at least have to collect these soul fragments. Suddenly, one of the soul fragments tried to pull her in. A look of incredulous surprise flashed in Tingyan's eyes. Her whole body felt like it was suspended in mid-air. At this moment, it was as if Sim Xiao had completely enveloped her, her small body experiencing indescribable sensations. This is so strange. Why do I feel both melancholic and numb? No, why is my whole body so weak? Tingyan felt like she was wrapped in thousands of fine threads, her cheeks already flushed red. Not just one, but two figures of Sim Xiao appeared. Both teasing Tingyan's small body, she felt her legs go weak and had a slight headache. She tried to use the last of her reason to shake her head back and forth, trying to regain her senses. No, I have to concentrate. Tingyan finally dispelled the illusion. Calm down, calm down. As expected, it's not easy to break into someone else's domain. Suddenly, a new illusion appeared before her eyes. Tingyan hugged the soul fragments in her arms, determined. Since I'm here, I have to finish what I started. I can't leave empty-handed. The scene before her became clearer. She could see a private mansion. She tentatively took her first steps inside. Tingyan carefully observed her surroundings, her expression changing noticeably. I'm done for. This place is a total wreck. She seemed to notice something changing. Her eyes suddenly widened. Before her was a large, ominous red jade in the middle of the room. She exclaimed with joy. Found it, Tingyan said with a little trepidation. This doesn't look good at all. She hugged Sim Xiao's soul fragments tightly, whispering to herself with determination. If this core disappears, then he will really be obliterated. I have to hurry. Only when she got close to it did Tingyan dare to breathe a sigh of relief. But a big problem emerged. She didn't know what to do with that big ball. How am I supposed to stick these soul fragments back together? Use myself as tape? That's it, I'll wrap myself around these soul fragments and stick them on. Maybe he can recover on his own. Thinking it, she did it. Tingyan hugged the big jade and smugly stuck the fragments on. Hurry up and recover. And it actually reacted. Shining brightly, the surrounding scenery also changed with each change of the jade, but it made Tingyan uncomfortable. Her eyebrows furrowed, an indescribable suffocating sensation. Ugh, his soul fragments are too sharp. While Tingyan was in a daze, a hand suddenly touched her chin. Even though there's no attack, why do I still feel pain? Not knowing if it was an illusion or reality, Sim Xiao kissed her lips. This sensation made Tingyan feel more comfortable. Why, besides pain, does it also feel more pleasant and cool too? Suddenly her eyes widened. No way, could this be what cultivators call soul union, which is also what legends call? In the scene before her, she could only hear ambiguous sounds and heavy breathing. At this moment she screamed in her heart in dismay. Dual cultivation, ah! After a long time of breathing heavily with Sim Xiao, Tingyan felt a little unclear and gasped. Damn it, I really? Returning to reality, she woke up with a start. Sitting up. What was that? Suddenly her cheeks flushed red and she touched her face, screaming in her heart, I actually brought myself to the door and slept with Sim Xiao. Does this count as sleeping? I'm doomed. If he wakes up, will he immediately obliterate my soul? Little Fire appeared at the right time and asked cheerfully, I told you that you could do it. Now his condition is much more stable. You just need to try a few more times and it will be done. Tingan covered her face and asked, Try a few more times. Tingan shouted back loudly. This one time was like being half dead, and you want me to try a few more times? Little Fire just pointed at Zhu Yan and said, his condition is like that of back then. He needs at least 3 more rounds of spirit communication to wake up. Besides, looking at your current state, isn't dual cultivation beneficial to you too? What are you hesitating for? She glanced at Ying Wu, who was lying still on the bed. Ding Yan covered her face, annoyed. Dual cultivation? What nonsense. Then she used a spell to silence. Little Fire, shut up, you little brat. Ding Yan sat by the bed and sighed. This is so annoying. When he wakes up later, is it time for me to die? But earlier, at that time, Ding Yan started to overthink. He seems to like me quite a bit. Maybe he won't kill me. But when she looked at Zhu Yan lying quietly on the bed, Ding Yan blushed and shook her head to pull herself together. No, what am I doing? Am I being too presumptuous? It's one of the 3 greatest illusions in life. Thinking the other person definitely likes you, I'm definitely just being delusional. Then she touched Zhu Yan's forehead. But our souls are so intertwined, so intimate, it's like we've become one. I can feel his pain too. Looking at him like this, he's actually quite handsome. It's just that he always has such a cold face, and his aura is so intimidating that people don't notice what he looks like. His hair is so soft and smooth. Then she touched Zhu Yan's ear. His earlobes are a bit fleshy, feels pretty good to touch. Thinking of that, her cheeks flushed red. But Ying Wu suddenly opened his eyes and said coldly, What are you doing? Ding Yan was startled and flustered. I. So she quickly pulled the blanket over him. I was afraid you were cold. Her little heart secretly screamed in resentment. Damn it, that little flame kid is so unreliable. All my sympathy for his innocent voice was wasted. I should have doused him with even more water. Suddenly, Zhu Yan reached out. One hand wrapped around Ding Yan's waist, the other around her neck. She was so shocked she freaked out. Ah, ancestors. Wait. Before she could finish, Zhu Yan pulled her closer and whispered, One more time. Ding Yan was slightly surprised. My spiritual palace, it's open. At this moment, inside the spiritual palace's mystic realm, Zhu Yan and Ding Yan were entangled on the bed. Only ambiguous sounds could be heard. Zhao Yan buried his head in Ding Yan's neck, and she was panting beneath him. Zhao Yan lazily asked after letting her go. What were you doing just now? Ting Yan tearfully replied with difficulty. Shizu, I can't. But he didn't let her off, and kissed her lips. This is what you call a soul connection. You could see her entire body covered in hickeys, big and small. Her exhausted body limply let her hands fall into the water. Beneath her, the flower petals gently glided on the water's surface. After being released, Ting Yan lay on the boat, desperately gasping for air. Only then did Zhao Yan gently wipe away the tears from the corner of Ting Yan's eyes. He chuckled and said, You're crying pretty loud. Ting Yan looked at him with affection, secretly cursing in her heart. You perverted bastard. You're laughing even louder. Ting Yan dragged her exhausted body, limping away from there, her voice full of pity. Grandpa, please spare me. Yet Zhao Yan heartlessly grabbed Ting Yan's leg and coldly replied, No way. The poor baby could only scream helplessly. He hugged her, his hands and feet behaving dishonestly as they groped around. What are you afraid of? Zhao Yan asked. Ting Yan stammered. Shizu. Ting Yan was bullied by Zhu Yan again, and could only grumble inwardly. Damn it, you're asking me what I'm afraid of? I just died and came back to life, then died again. My kidneys are about to fail, and you want to do it again? So Ting Yan used her ultimate move and stuck a leaf on his forehead. After doing so, she probed and looked at Zhuniu Yan, a special spiritual herb from Qing Ji Yu Tian. Sticking it on your forehead will help calm your mind. But then Zhu Yan burst out laughing. His expression darkened as he raised his hand towards her. You don't think that? Just sticking it on the forehead will do the trick, right? Zhu Yan held her face and cleared his throat. Ting Yan collapsed helplessly. Whatever, just destroy me. If you want to be burned to ashes, then come get me. Zhu Yan, of course, wasn't afraid, and placed his hand next to her. He said with a teasing tone, You think that if you do this, I won't make a move. At this moment, Sim Xiao touched Zhou Yan's cheeks, making her so scared she couldn't even speak. Ancestor. Zhou Yan's tiny heart was beating uncontrollably as she fearfully scrambled away. Help. Before leaving, she didn't forget to point back and mutter a curse, You pig trotter. Once outside, Zhou Yan asked the little snake. At this rate, I'd rather just finish the deed in one go. At least I'd get a break halfway. Damn, what kind of transaction is this? With absolutely no room to think or rest. The little snake shook its head vigorously. Seeing this,
she asked helplessly. Not done yet. Zhu Yan then noticed the scenery across from them, her face full of bewilderment. Is this place about to disappear? The colors around are fading. This lake and wooden house, is this a miniature world created by that high monk? Sim Xiao, appearing out of nowhere, said, "That's right, there's only one more day before this place vanishes." Zhu Yan jumped, startled, turning back, ancestor. Then he looked at the little snake and said, "Let's go." It gradually grew larger. Zhu Yan warily looked at Sim Xiao and asked, "Where are we going this time?" But before she could finish, Sim Xiao picked her up again. Zhu Yan thought in confusion. Why does this ancestor like carrying me more and more? Sim Xiao then said, "To Luohe Immortal Manor." Zhu Yan could only resign herself. Whatever. As long as he doesn't drag me into any more spirit communication stuff, he can carry me however he wants. A few days later, at Luohe Immortal Manor. So early in the morning, listening to Shi Tianlu say, I heard from Master that this is a market town where mortals and cultivators live together. It's also the first stop to enter the Jingting Immortal Abode area. In front of them was Yang Li Chun. She put her hands on her hips and said loudly, "Brother, this place is so old and run down. Do we really have to stay here for a day? I can't take it anymore. I'll rest for a bit and then leave right away. Otherwise, I'll find a better place." Yang Yiqiu, across from her, calmly replied, "When you're out, the conditions naturally won't be as good as at home. Just try to endure it a little longer." Zhu Yan revealed, "We've been following these two siblings for a while now. The younger sister is named Yang Li Chun, and the older brother is named Yang Yiqiu. They are the children of the Mu family's eldest daughter who married out, and the young lord of the Yeyu Palace." "I don't know why Master is following them," she said, clicking her tongue. "Such a luxurious house, and she calls it run down. Truly a spoiled second-generation immortal." Li Chan then grabbed Yiqiu's hand and added, "Brother, what do you think the academy in the Jingting Immortal Abode will be like? Is it better than the Chengju Academy we went to before?" Yiqiu calmly replied, "How can they compare? Mother already said, if we become disciples of the Jingting Immortal Abode, we'll be highly regarded wherever we go. Maybe even the Yeyu Palace will have to rely on us. You know I'm definitely better than those illegitimate children. At that time, the Yeyu Palace will be ours." Zhou Yan was stunned watching this. "Your cultivation world really has palace intrigue everywhere, huh?" Sima Xiao stroked his chin and said, "How does it look to use their identities?" Sima Xiao then waved his hand forward, and the two of them turned into two little quails. Suddenly, two little quails appeared. Zhou Yan jumped in shock, not understanding why she had turned into Li Chun. "What the heck is going on?" Sima Xiao picked up the two little quails and laughed. "Little sister, here, have these to play with." Zhou Yan, seeing this, was speechless as she looked at him. "Ancestor, what weird game are you playing again?" The next day, outside the hall, only later did I understand that we were pretending to be the young master and young lady of the Yeyu Palace, and he brought us to the Chen Academy in the Jingting Immortal Abode. Thanks to that identity, we avoided the Shi family's pursuit and quietly infiltrated the Jingting Immortal Abode. Ting Yan and Ma Xiao were dozing off, heads leaned against each other in the carriage, totally oblivious to the little snakes sneaking over to their lovey-dovey pigeons, lol. Ting Yan then drifted right into dreamland. In her dream, she saw Ma Xiao walking down the stairs, which made her wonder, wait a sec, is this Grandpa's memories? Ma Xiao's image became clearer and clearer, right? I've been in his spiritual domain before, touched his soul. That's why I'm catching glimpses of these faded memories and feeling his feels, OMG. In that dream, Ma Xiao just seemed so alone. It was a loneliness that was kind of suffocating, you know. Suddenly, Ting Yan felt like she was plummeting into the deep sea, super uncomfortable. That jolted her awake, and she stared at Ma Xiao. Seeing Ting Yan startled, Ma Xiao asked softly, "What's wrong?" She replied, a little breathless, "And nothing." She glanced at him thoughtfully. "This whole soul-sharing thing, it makes me see our ancestor as kinda pathetic. TBH. Plus, my cultivation's been leveling up like crazy since then. It's like I'm constantly absorbing his yang energy, which is kinda awkward and makes me blush. Those R-rated scenes, though Grandpa wasn't even a little bit shy, the perv." A while later, inside the Heavenly Immortal Abode lecture hall at the academy, the teacher droned on. "Today, we'll be learning about the 5-element spiritual roots and how to circulate spiritual energy." Ting Yan listened while thinking, besides being a bit more touchy-feely, he's still his usual weird self, doing things I can't understand. But that kinda puts me at ease, actually. After a bit, Ting Yan turned to Ma Xiao and asked, "Grandpa, did you bring me here to learn the basics of cultivation?" He clenched his palm slightly and said calmly, "Learn what? I'm here to kill someone." Hearing this, Ting Yan sighed, "Okay, now I can relax." But then she got a little nervous. "Wait, who are you planning to off this time?" Zhou Yan looked at his palm, laughing excitedly. Wiped out the Shi clan, along with all the families closely related to them. Ding Nian, who was next to him, could barely speak, looking at him in horror. Thank goodness this ancestor doesn't plan to kill everyone in the guardhouse. So many people, how long would it take to kill them all? No. Why is that my first reaction? Sim Yan seemed to understand her thoughts and chuckled. I've already spared the others out of respect for you. But the Shi clan, not a single one will be spared. Don't expect me to soften my heart. Hearing this, Ding Lian was stunned. Huh, respect for me? Is my face really that big? Why do you need to show me respect? I haven't even told you not to kill people indiscriminately. Inside that body, Zhu Yan smiled indulgently. Then he touched Ding Lian's forehead. Are you able to see my thoughts during telepathy? Ding Lian looked at him thoughtfully. Oh right, it's over. Then Ding Lian held her forehead and thought, I saw some of his memories, so naturally he saw some of mine too. Next time we have telepathy, I definitely can't think of random things. But then Ding Lian covered her face. Her cheeks flushed red. Wait, that's not right. Why am I even thinking about next time? I can't think about it. Thinking about it will shorten my lifespan. Zhu Yan propped his chin up and asked, Tell me, which one should I withdraw? Ding Lian sighed inwardly. Is this great master playing a death lottery? Then she perked up her ears to listen to the teacher say, Let me demonstrate some water magic for you all. It's water magic? She couldn't help but think, my foundation is too weak. Although my cultivation is high now, I know so few skills, I should take this opportunity to make up for it. The teacher above added, Watch carefully and practice diligently. He only just started casting, and a tower appeared. Ding Lian exclaimed with admiration, Amazing! Ding Lian didn't hesitate and excitedly followed suit. Let me try too. Like this. But the water droplet hadn't even taken shape before it was distorted, making her disappointed. Huh. Why did it melt? Zhu Yan silently watched the naive girl stubbornly repeating the water-gathering motion. He couldn't stand it and grabbed her hand. You're such an idiot. With just a few movements, Zhu Yan created a smoky waterfall. Ding Lian couldn't help but exclaim, Whoa! Zhu Yan indifferently retracted the water flow, saying, You get amazed by such a small trick. Why are you copying that half-baked dude up there? Right after saying that, he turned the water streams into deadly weapons. Needless to say, Ting Yan was utterly terrified, blurting out in praise. Now that's a real pro. Sim Xiao casually replied, My spiritual root is special. You can't do this. Ting Yan, seeing the needles falling, exclaimed in horror, Dude, turning water into needles? Even you gotta follow the basic rules of the game. Then he helped Ting Yan practice water manipulation. You can use something else. Using water, wood, or earth elements is best, especially if there's enough water-based spiritual energy around. If you use your full power, you could wipe out an entire pond within 100 miles. She felt the energy gathering around her and couldn't help but sigh. His spiritual energy is so strong. Sim Xiao then switched to the next technique. His lips slightly curved up as he placed Ting Yan's hand on his face. The wood element isn't used much, but you can turn people into wood, then just add a little fire and burn them to ashes. Easy peasy. Ting Yan uncomfortably blurted out, What is this? His spiritual power is cleansing me. It hurts too much. Sim Xiao controlled her body to let her feel each aspect of the technique. The earth element is just about transforming matter. You can crush earth into stone. For those with cultivation levels lower than yours by 1 grade, you can use this technique to smash them however you want, crushing both flesh and bones. She was truly overwhelmed, unable to even speak. Enough, really, enough. The eager student Ting Yan humbly requests to surrender. My spiritual meridians can't handle this kind of hands-on teaching. Sim Xiao then crossed his arms, looking down at her critically. Your divine cultivation is still too weak. Ting Yan just laughed it off. Nah, I'm satisfied with this, really enough. Then she immediately offered him water. Oh great master, please rest a bit and have a cold brew. Sim Xiao took the drink and repeated, cold brew. He curiously looked at it and asked again, What is this? Ting Yan thought to herself. This ancestor doesn't eat or drink anything, so picky. Giving him something to eat is harder than telling him not to kill anyone. Thinking this, she explained. Master Ancestor said he wants to deal with the Shi family and the families close to them. But how does Master Ancestor know which families are close to them? Sim Xiao put the cold brew down on the table and replied, Didn't they already tell me? The 100-person deathmatch at the Lingyan Mountain platform? See who they sacrifice? See how those families are linked? All the relationships, clear as day. Hearing this, Ting Yan secretly admired him. I thought he was really going crazy. Who knew he had a hidden purpose? Meanwhile, the little black snake took the opportunity to gulp down the entire cold brew. Sim Xiao said again, Come here, draw. She looked at the creatures in front of her, hesitant. Here. Sim Xiao looked at her with amusement. Whoever you draw, I'll kill them first. Sim Xiao looked at her with interest. Whoever you draw, I'll kill that person first.
Ting Yan nervously grabbed the innocent little snake that was just drinking water, stammering, Be back up, let this idiot do it. The little snake conveniently chose a ball. Sim Xiao caught it. A small smirk playing on his lips. The Qi family. That look on his face scared Tingan so much she broke out in a cold sweat. Ancestor, do you have any idea that your smile is giving off major supervillain vibes? The next day, everyone at the academy headed to class again. Tingan, still half asleep, let out a huge yawn. Where did that ancestor of mine go? He didn't come back all night. Tingan rushed to her desk to sneak in a quick nap. Don't tell me he actually went off to murder someone, leaving me here to suffer through school all by myself. But just then, someone walked up to her. Seeing him sit down next to her, she jumped. Holy crap, who is this guy? You scared the hell out of me. He looked over and introduced himself. My name is Qilu Ocean. You must be the Yongling Chun of the Yeyu Palace, right? Where's your big brother? Hearing this, Tingan sighed as she recalled. Qi, yesterday, little Blackie picked a small ball, and I'm pretty sure it had the character Qi on it. At that thought, her eyes filled with pity. It's over. He's probably a dead man. Oh, the humanity. Seeing her stare at him, Luotian grew smug. She's staring at me so intently. Looks like I've got a shot. The young man, Luotian, grew even bolder, grabbing her hand. Our Qi family and the Moose family have always been on great terms. Just call me Big Brother Qi and I'll take good care of you. Tingan shivered at his words. So damn cringy. But for some reason, Luotian suddenly leaped up, screaming in pain, while Tingan innocently whistled and looked the other way. Turns out, her mischievous little hand hadn't been behaving itself. He momentarily panicked, recalling the sensation. What was that? My butt? It's both painful and cold. Qi Luotian, standing in the middle of class, clutching his butt and screaming his head off, finally angered the teacher. Qi Luotian, what do you think you're doing? Such insolence! Get outside now! The rest of the class erupted in laughter. Oh my god, did Qi Luotian just pee his pants? Haha. Tingan sat there, thinking smugly. That safety pin trick I learned from Sim Xiao yesterday really works like a charm. The teacher's voice turned stern. All of you, quiet down. Today we will discuss divine souls and spirit abodes. A person's spirit abode is their most secret place. Even for dual cultivation partners, it's not easy to enter one another's. You are all young. Do not do such things with others for a moment's pleasure. Hearing that, Tingan suddenly felt a pang of guilt and covered her face. Wait a minute, if that's the case, then aren't Sim Xiao and I basically bad kids who've already tasted the forbidden fruit? The more she thought about it, the guiltier she felt, shaking her head frantically. Ah, the shame! This is so humiliating! Cut to a different scene at the Jinghua Pavilion, where everyone was having a meal. Tingan was no exception, looking utterly bored as she sighed. Becoming Yongling Chun means I have to socialize too. At least the food here is pretty good, but before she could even take a single bite, Yuan Rongshu, Qi Luotian's cousin, stood before her and aggressively demanded, You're the one who humiliated my cousin, aren't you? Tingan instantly activated her salted fish skill. Level 1. What? I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. Who's your cousin, anyway? Rongshu's friend stepped forward to continue the tirade. Still trying to deny it. Your spiritual root is crap anyway. You can't even cultivate properly here. You might as well find a Dalio partner to leech off of. Zhu Yan activated her salted fish skill level 2. That's right, you're absolutely right. You're so eloquent, so logical. She even clapped to show her appreciation. Rongshu's other friend chimed in. I think you came here today to find a Dao partner, right? Too bad everyone here's background is way above yours. You better know your place. Zhu Yan immediately flashed a smile and activated salted fish skill level 3. Whatever. Up to you, I'm fine with anything. Yes, I think so too, you make a good point. The three of them were speechless, feeling increasingly frustrated. Unbelievable, someone can be this shameless. Unable to get a rise out of Zhu Yan, the three beauties huffed off in anger. Rongshu fumed. Wasn't Ling Chun supposed to be impulsive and easily angered? Why is she like a statue now, not reacting to anything? What the heck? Meanwhile, Zhu Yan happily enjoyed her snacks in the back. This sweet soup is really good. Discussions at the next table caught Zhu Yan's attention. Did you guys hear about the big incident in the inner sanctum recently? Could it be related to that Grandmaster? Zhu Yan thought suspiciously. They're talking about Sim Xiao. I knew it. Our ancestors caused such a ruckus, killing so many high-ranking Earth immortals. Yet everything in the Jingxiao Gengchen region acted like nothing happened. Finally, someone's bringing it up. The table next door added, rumor has it, the Grandmaster flew into a rage and killed a lot of people, all because his favorite female disciple whispered sweet nothings in his ear. The sect leader even had to cover it up. Now the Grandmaster is in secluded cultivation on Bailu Cliff, not coming out. Zhu Yan calmly refuted in her head, idiots, that's fake news. The higher-ups are definitely trying to maintain stability by concealing the truth. However, the gossip grew even more heated. Before, we thought the Jingxiao Gengchen region would become even stronger when the Grandmaster came out of seclusion, but now it seems like having him around might not be a good thing. The other person retorted, that's wrong. The Grandmaster's cultivation is extremely high, and he's the only descendant of the Silma clan. It's normal for him to be a little eccentric. He deserves to be a respected senior and role model for us. If I had the chance, I'd give my life for the Grandmaster. Zhao Yan chewed on her sweet soup while listening to the juicy gossip. Want to follow Sim Xiao that much, huh? Too bad this ancestor doesn't have his eyes on anyone, though it kinda seems like he thinks you guys and the entire Jingxiao Gangchen region are trash. As she was pondering, a familiar figure stood behind her. Sim Xiao put his hand on her shoulder and asked, "Finished eating? Let's go home if you're done." Zhu Yan startled and turned around. Brother, you're back." Then she added, "I'm done eating, let's go." But someone recognized her at this moment. "Oh my, isn't this Yongxi Chu from the Yayu Palace? You're here with Xin Dao Yu to get to know each other at this banquet. Why don't you let your younger sister stay too?" Sim Xiao turned back to glance at him and asked, "Banquet?" Then he turned to Zhu Yan and added, "I thought you guys were just chatting away." Zhu Yan looked at him, thinking, "Am I seeing things? Why does this ancestor have a 'my daughter has been mistreated and lost weight' kind of look on his face?" And so, Sim Xiao led her away. On the way, he asked with concern, "Do you like this place?" She replied, "It's okay, the food is better than in the academy," he added. "With your current cultivation, you don't really need to eat these things," she replied naively. "Oh, I eat these things purely because I'm craving them." Then Zhu Yan handed the bowl to Sim Xiao. "Actually, you should also try different kinds of delicious food. It's very helpful to keep you in a good mood." Saying this, she secretly assessed, "This ancestor's life is too pitiful and boring. If a person can't even sleep and eat well, then life has no meaning anymore." Thinking of this, she took a big bite and mumbled, "Try it, it's really good." It was a little difficult to hear because of the food in her mouth. She urged again, "Have a taste." Sima Xiao's eyes remained fixed on her, and then he directly kissed her lips. One could say it was eating indirectly. The sudden action made Zhu Yan's little heart jump wildly. Even her eating utensils fell to the ground. The scene of the two of them kissing just had to be seen by Liao Tingan. He was so pissed, he immediately ducked behind a pillar. This Yunxi Yue, I haven't even had a chance to woo her, and someone's already snatched her up. Who is that guy next to her? Over there, Sima Xiao finally pulled away from her lips after a long while, complaining in a low voice. "What's so good about this flavor anyway?" Yunxi Yue angrily pushed him away. "And you still ate it." Sima Xiao leaned back and lightly licked his thin lips. At the same time, Luo Tian walked over and asked, "Shi Yue, my dear Muimei." He pretended to be natural, asking, "What are you doing here? Weren't you at the flower banquet with someone else?" Then he looked at Sima Xiao and added, "And who's this?" Yunxi Yue calmly replied, "This is my Gige, Wei Yu Thu." Hearing that, he was completely stunned, his heart screaming, "Incest! These depraved lovebirds are committing incest!" Sima Xiao just scoffed coldly at that confession. Then he directly grabbed Yunxi Yue's hand and left. "If you have nothing to do, scram." Yunxi Yue was confused, recalling Luo Tian's expression from just now. Why did he look like he's constipated? As the two left, he watched their figures, muttering with a cold expression, "Disgusting." That night, inside Sima Xiao's room, Yunxi Yue asked, "Master, what is this?" He sat not far from her and replied, "Just went to take care of something, saw this book, and brought it back." Yunxi Yue looked at the book with a doubtful expression. What book is so important that Master had to specifically bring it back? But as soon as she opened the book, her eyes widened in amazement. Whoa! But then she looked at him in shock. Heaven and earth, black and yellow, 4 stages of techniques. And there are 5 elements, and 12 kinds of special mutated spiritual roots. Saying that, she fearfully closed the book. A total of 10,000, 5,000 articles. The entire cultivation world, every magic that can be named is recorded here. This terrifying spiritual book, and you just casually brought it back. What the heck did you go and do? Thinking that, her face turned pale, imagining Sima Xiao being taken away in shackles. Wait, does that mean tomorrow there will be a curfew everywhere, hunting down thieves, and then they'll find us? At this time, Sima Xiao spoke up. "Haven't I killed enough people? You're not afraid being by my side, but you're afraid of holding a book." Hearing that, Yunxi Yue nodded in agreement. True, that makes sense. Then she resolutely clenched her fist and added, "I love studying. From now on, I'll learn 50 new words every day." Ah, no. Learn 15 magic techniques. Zhu Yan, on the side, held his teacup, propping his chin, and looked at her. "No, you do want it. You're clearly screaming no in your head." Ting Yan raised an eyebrow in surprise. "If you knew, why did you give me that huge stack of homework?" But then she curiously approached him and asked, "Ancestor, how do you know what I'm thinking? Can you read minds?" Sima Xiao calmly replied, "I can't read minds." He then touched her cheek and said softly, "But when you're emotional, I sometimes hear what you're thinking. I can only hear yours." Ting Yan grimaced, her face pinched. Why only me? Her tiny heart clutched her head, screaming in protest. Is this also a consequence of soul sharing? Ugh, I knew it. You can't just sleep with a big shot all willy-nilly. There's a price to pay. Sim Xiao then leaned close to her ear. I can hear everything in your head. If you keep being noisy, there will be soul sharing. Hearing this, Tingan stuttered, repeating, soul sharing. In Liao Tingan's imagination, she was being ravaged by this ancestor until she was breathless and covered in red marks. Imagining that scene, Tingan immediately put her hands together in front of her chest and chanted loudly, Amitabha, no sharing, no sharing. All is emptiness. Sim Xiao couldn't help but burst out laughing at her words. The scene was like a little chick being chased by a big snake that just wanted to devour her. The next morning, in class, Tingan leaned close to Sim Xiao, puzzled, and asked, Ancestor, it's so weird. Why is everyone avoiding us? They're looking at us really strangely too. Sim Xiao used a barrier spell around them and replied, You don't have to whisper, they can't hear you. Tingan pouted, confused, and looked around. Judging by their expressions, I thought I came out in my pajamas instead of a dress. Sim Xiao chuckled softly. Wanna know? Just take a look. She quickly gave him a thumbs up and praised, Big shot, you're the best. Liao Tingan, over there, looked at them with disdain and speculated, I saw it with my own eyes, it can't be fake. That day, those two siblings were being so shameless, right there in the brocade painting garden. At that, his little sister on the other side glanced at the two of them and said, Doing that kind of thing. The Yangshi siblings are so shameless and disgusting, they're defiling our pure place of cultivation. Hearing those words, Tingan froze, her face paling. Oh God, I almost forgot we're supposed to be siblings. Seeing Sim Xiao laughing so happily, Tingan asked uncomfortably, Ancestor, how can you still laugh? His voice turned cold, his eyes filled with murderous intent as he replied, I heard my parents were siblings too. Back then, those immortal palace guardian gods wanted the pure bloodline of the Sema family, so they brainwashed them day and night, pressuring them to have children. I thought they didn't care about this kind of thing, but it turns out they do have a sense of shame, knowing what should and shouldn't be done. Zhao Yan's at it again, with his choosing game. Look at them. They were just happily roasting each other a minute ago, he said, clenching his fist with a light laugh. Then let's just target their families. Hearing that, Ding Yan turned pale. Welp, looks like the ancestors are going to be out causing mayhem again tonight. Time just kept ticking by that night. Sim Xiao caressed her cheek soothingly. I have to leave tonight. Ding Yan looked at him and repeated, Leave. Oh, safe travels, be careful. But then she felt something was off, her heart was fighting it. Wait, hold on, why am I acting like a wife sending her husband off on a trip, telling him to be careful, SOS, this is too much. Sim Xiao gently stroked her hair, smiling sweetly, and asked, Want anything? I'll bring it back for you? Hearing that, Ding Yan froze, mentally screaming, Sounds like a husband promising to buy his wife a gift after a business trip, for crying out loud, so she waved her hands frantically. Anything's fine, I'm not picky. But then Ding Yan imagined him bringing back a little skull as a gift, and she regretted it, thinking, the ancestors are supposed to be out there killing and arsoning, and you're bringing me back a gift. Uh-oh, is he planning on bringing back enemy heads as presents? Sim Xiao then bent down, kissed her forehead, and whispered, comforting her, Wait for me, okay? This action made Ding Yan blush furiously. Ancestors, what's wrong with you, ancestors? My ancestors would never be this gentle. Sim Xiao, after finishing up the formalities, grabbed his suitcase and left for his business trip, leaving his wife Ding Yan at home, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Ancestor Sim Xiao's gone again. The next morning, as usual, Ding Yan had to go to school. She flipped through her books, bored, not even bothering to pay attention to her surroundings. He's gone. Going to school's even more boring now. Fine, then I'll try learning some new tricks from the books, she thought, pointing at the page. Let's try this one. And just like that, on her first try, Ding Yan succeeded. She happily looked at her accomplishment, praising herself in her heart. This magic trick's easy, so now I can sleep in class. But just as school ended, some other young ladies gathered around, gossiping about her. How can that young Chun still show her face at school? Yeah, with that flirtatious look and that affected walk, it's obvious she's no good. Need you even ask? Ding Yan, on the side, secretly cast a spell on them, her face full of amusement. After school, I'll practice on these blabbermouths. The beauties over there started to bicker. One stepped on the other's foot. Why'd you step on my foot? I should be asking you that. Why'd you step on my foot? Just like that, they started pulling hair, tearing clothes, and fighting. What do you mean? What do you mean? Stop arguing, stop arguing. Ding Yan, having achieved her goal, hummed a little tune. Fight well. Fight harder. Cut to a different scene, a few days later. While Ting Yan was sound asleep, she suddenly rubbed her eyes and woke up. Zhao Yan, who knows how long he'd been there, was sitting next to the bed, gently stroking Tingan's head. She let out a sigh of relief. "You're back." Zhu Yan held out a mirror to her. "Here, take it." She instantly woke up fully. This is a mirror. But when she tried to look at herself, she couldn't see her reflection. Tingan was a bit confused. She looked it over. This mirror had two sides, both equally blurry. Logically, the treasure brought back by the ancestors shouldn't be this simple, right? So she shyly asked, Dadji, how do you use this?" Zhu Yan chuckled softly. "You don't even know this? As long as you have spiritual energy, even if the two mirrors are separated by 10,000 miles, you can see what's happening on the other side." Tingan asked in disbelief. "Really? Really?" But when she saw him lying down next to her, she got a little worried. "Why are you lying down again?" Zhu Yan gently touched the mirror. The image of the two of them instantly appeared in the mirror. Tingan couldn't help but sigh in amazement. Then the scene in the mirror changed to something else. It was at this moment that she suddenly realized, wait a minute, the treasures in this cultivation world are far inferior to mobile phones. Phones can see the other side even from 10,000 miles away, and they have so many more functions and are more convenient. But seeing her reaction, Zhu Yan was a bit displeased. "You don't like it." Tingan was caught off guard and stammered. Without saying more, Zhu Yan raised his hand to break it, his voice cold. "If you don't like it, then I'll break it." Tingan jumped and grabbed his hand. "Ancestral grandfather, calm down. I like it very much." In her tiny heart, she was screaming in complaint. "What the heck? Ancestral grandfather is ruining my stuff." She hugged the mirror, sighing in relief. "Luckily, I saved one side." She finally got a clear, unambiguous gift from him, and he almost broke one side himself. What's with this low EQ way of giving gifts, seriously? Zhao Yan then placed his hand on her lips and used the truth-telling spell, asking, "You really like this thing?" Luckily, Tingan really did like it, so she replied, "I like it." Actually, she was a little scared inside. What's wrong with him, ancestral grandfather? He has to use a truth-telling buff to ask about something this small. Zhao Yan grabbed the mirror, showering it with compliments. "Oh my ancestors, if only I had a few more of these." One to broadcast the immortal abode, Guardian God's grand square, watching disciples fight and compete. One to film the bustling neighborhood, seeing the realities of human life, the dramas of the mortal world. And one in the mountains and forests, watching the wildlife. Wouldn't that be awesome? But then she regretted it. Oops, looks like I asked for quite a lot, huh? Yet, Sim Xiao simply placed his hand on the mirror and softly agreed, "It's simple, really." Zhu Yan looked into the mirror, eyes shining, and exclaimed, "Wow, this is Three Saints Mountain." Inside the mirror, the image of Three Saints Mountain was incredibly sharp, a true 4K experience. But Sima Xiao just tapped the mirror lightly, and immediately, the scene switched to a dark and gloomy volcano. It really scared our little beauty Zhu Yan silly. Although I don't know where this is, it's probably another one of Ancestor's masterpieces. Thinking that, she still happily scooted her butt closer to him, leaning against him. "Ancestor, if this is a gift for me, can I try it out?" Sima Xiao glanced at her indifferently. "Do as you please." Without waiting, Zhu Yan knocked on the mirror eagerly. "Knock knock, I want to try too." But even after knocking until her fingertips turned red, nothing changed. Why isn't it working? Seeing this, Sima Xiao lovingly took her hand. "Silly girl, you need to use spiritual power." He channeled his spiritual power into Zhu Yan's hand. Inside the mirror, a scene of beautiful women dancing gracefully appeared, captivating the eye. There was even a scene of a waiter carrying a tray of steaming buns, bending at the waist. It truly struck Zhu Yan's heart. Her eyes widened with excitement. "Isn't this live streaming? Ancestor really gets me." Seeing her reaction, Sima Xiao confirmed, "This is what you wanted, anything else?" Zhu Yan smiled gleefully, replying, "That's right, watching live streams like this is a great way to kill time, and it helps me sleep too." Suddenly, Zhao Yan panicked, crying silently in her heart. "Crap, seeing how Ancestor indulges me in everything, isn't this about to turn into a domineering Ancestor falls in love with a little demon consort drama?" The drama Domineering Ancestor Falls in Love with a Little Demon Consort is now airing, enthusiastically calling on the masses to come and enjoy the show. But how could Zhu Yan let that happen? She quickly changed the subject. Ancestor, aren't you going out? Are all your tasks done?" Sima Xiao replied, "Not yet. Let them live a little longer." Then he gently cupped her face. "Do you like excitement?" Zhu Yan hesitated. I do." Although that's what she said, she was secretly dancing inside. "Could it be that Ancestor has realized something and plans to take me somewhere lively for a date? Hee, I'm kind of looking forward to it, my heart's pounding." Sima Xiao revealed a dark expression and said in a deep voice, "In a while, the immortal abode Guardian Gods will be incredibly lively. When that time comes, I'll take you to see the most exciting moment the immortal abode has had in 10,000 years." Zhu Yan was secretly tearing up. looking at the unpredictable person in front of her. Just say you're a domineering CEO, don't suddenly go all dark and twisted on me. Ah! Before you know it, Sim Xiao is out causing trouble again. It's almost a new season, and Zhu Yan, accompanied by her maid and guards from Yonglichun, went out to buy clothes at the Yunyi brocade shop. The owner greeted them enthusiastically. These are the newly arrived flower brocades this month. The patterns on this type of brocade are no ordinary stuff, you know. This flower is called the Sun Moon Udumbara. It's totally extraordinary. Zhu Yan was super intrigued and secretly exclaimed, "Whoa, even the Sun Moon Udumbara is a fabric pattern now." Zhu Yan picked up a piece of fabric and praised, "It's really beautiful, but the shape of the flower seems a bit off, kinda, wrong." The owner added, "This Sun Moon Udumbara design is a flower that grows alongside the Sema clan, so hardly anyone has ever seen its true form. Only my Yunyi shop has this pattern, and it's a bestseller every year." Zhu Yan didn't argue and just cheerfully said, "I'll take it. And that nebula gauze next to it too." But then, a young miss from Yuezihi Palace, Yue Chuhui, butted in. "Hold it right there. Who dares snatch something I've already chosen?" Zhu Yan looked at her, puzzled. Why does this girl look so familiar? Oh, I remember. It's the owner of the Bai Yanfei Pavilion. Last time we went there, she was the loudest one. Back then, Shizu took me to watch the show, and she spotted us and pointed, shouting, "Look, it's the ancestors." But now, she's acting all high and mighty with her maids, bossing everyone around. "I hear you're people from the Yayu Palace?" HMPH, such a small Yayu Palace. Even if your palace master or old ancestor came here, they'd have to be polite to this young miss. Do you even know who this young miss is? My mother is from the Gong Yuizihi. Zhu Yan's maid couldn't stand it and retorted, "Let's be reasonable, okay? First come, first served. Why should we give it up? Your Yayu Palace is going too far." Those two ignored her and sneered. "Bullying people too much? We're already being nice by not making you kneel. Look at your own status. You think you're worthy of being compared to the Gong Yuezihi." Zhu Yan, on the other hand, was confused and muttered to herself, "Ugh, it's just some fabric. Why is everyone making such a fuss?" Thinking this, she shoved the fabric towards Chu Hui. "If you want it, I'll give it to you." After that, she grabbed her maid's hand and quickly ran away. "There are too many of them. It's best to retreat." Chu Hui, instead of being happy, shouted loudly, "Did I say you could leave? Someone, grab her for me." Chu Hui's maids were surprisingly efficient. The moment the order was given, they were already blocking Zhu Yan's path. Seeing the two of them, Zhao Yan hesitated. "Whoa, seriously? Even the guards are nascent soul cultivators who've been through hundreds of battles. Looks like, not only can I not win, but if I make a move, it might expose my and Shizun's identities." At this moment, the black snake slithered out from her clothes and asked, "Hiss, what's going on? I want in too." Chu Hui saw it and was instantly filled with fear. "That thing? Why does it look like a demon lord's pet snake from Tibet? How does she have a snake like that?" Thinking this, Chu Hui brazenly pointed at Zhao Yan and ordered, "Leave that snake behind and I'll spare your life. Don't let me see you again. Go get her." The two maids acknowledged the order and drew their swords, rushing towards her. "Oh crap, you dare snatch the ancestor's snake. Are you guys tired of living?" At the Kanthan Immortal Estate, Ling Mountain. Within the estate, there are 9 Ling Mountains in total. Each one is occupied by the Xing family, and the mountains are overflowing with spiritual energy that cultivators crave. However, no one in the Xia family knows that the constant surging spiritual energy has formed a complex network of spiritual energy conduits thousands of feet deep beneath the Ling Mountains. Drip, drip, drip. A drop touches Sim Xiao's blood-stained hand. It is these conduits that have converged to form spiritual pools, the most vital heart of each Ling Mountain. At this moment, Sim Xiao chuckled softly. The spiritual pool of the secondary peak is complete. He left directly. The dark fire has been lit, waiting for the day the east wind arrives. His face was cold as he stepped outside. In front of the cave, several people from the Kanmath-Than Immortal Estate were already waiting. Upon seeing Sim Xiao, they bowed respectfully. "Grandmaster," he glanced at the person next to him, "Go." Hearing the order, the person immediately responded, "Yes." With that, he activated his cultivation technique and flew up. "I want to see a grand show, and the abandoned members of the Shim family will be the kindling." The Kanthan Immortal Estate's roots run too deep to be easily uprooted, but what if I ignite a fire right in the heart of the tree? Thinking of this, he smirked. "Burn it all, burn it clean, purify it all." A moment later, he returned to the pavilion and called out without waiting, "Liao Tingan." He looked towards the bed, seemingly annoyed. "Where is she?" The little snake immediately slithered over, squeaking, "SSS's, SSSSSSSSSSS." Hearing this, Sim Xiao's mood plummeted, and his entire being radiated murderous intent. He immediately grabbed the black snake, scolding angrily, "You idiot! Lead me to her!" The black snake squeaked in pain. At the same time, in the Yu family's dungeon, Sim Xiao charged in, yelling, "Liao Tingan!" Seeing her lying on the ground, the black snake cried out in sorrow, Sima Xiao frowned slightly, his emotions complex as he reached out to check Liao Tingan. His hand grew heavy as he looked at the bloody wounds on Tingyan's face. But before he could even feel sorrow, she snored a few times, leaving the handsome Sima Xiao speechless. Sleeping. She's asleep. He pinched her cheek without hesitation. Aren't you going to wake up? Sleeping well? Tingyan replied instinctively. Yeah, not bad. Hearing this, Sima Xiao repeated in a low voice. Not bad. Tingyan suddenly woke up and turned to look at him, exclaiming, Ah, you scared me. Seeing that it was Sima Xiao, she immediately threw herself into his arms. No, no, no. It was so uncomfortable, Grandmaster. You finally came to save me. Wah. She looked at him with teary eyes, complaining, This place is a death trap. There's not even a bed. The ground is cold. And that girl Yu Chu is so cruel. She beat me so much that I can't even use my spiritual energy anymore. But at this moment, because she spoke too excitedly, the wound on her mouth reopened. Sima Xiao suddenly leaned forward, bringing his tongue close to her lips. Shut up! Tingyan was startled, her heart racing. What? What is he doing? There's no such thing as sterilizing with saliva in the cultivation world. Please don't do anything weird. But she couldn't avoid being kissed senseless by him. After a long while, both of their lips were stained with red blood. Sima Xiao said curtly, Let's go, Tingyan asked in confusion. Go. Go where? She suddenly asked, startled. Are we going to kill someone again? Sima Xiao said darkly, his voice full of murderous intent. Or what? Hearing this, she was left helpless. Why is he even angrier after kissing me? She thought to herself, and then comforted, Grandmaster, calm down first. He then picked her up. Be quiet, or else. Tingyan awkwardly grabbed his shoulders. Please don't. Sima Xiao looked at her with murderous intent, warning, I'll kill you too. Dying in my hands is better than dying in the hands of others. Tingyan, of course, didn't dare to open her mouth. This ancestor is having another episode. There's no reasoning with him. It's best to try to survive first. In the blink of an eye, Sima Xiao had already carried Dingyan out of the concubine's palace. Needless to say what happened behind them. Total chaos with smoke and flames everywhere. Anyone involved got a one-way ticket to see their ancestors, like ASAP. Dingyan clung tightly to his neck, feeling super queasy and covering her mouth. Ugh, this bloody smell is making me want to hurl. Just how many people did our forefather off? I seriously can't even look. Wah. Scene changed to a quiet room in the Yun family's residence. Yun Chu Hui suddenly caught a whiff of blood and jolted awake. Furious, she yanked back the curtains and snapped, How dare you? Who allowed you to barge into my Yun Chu's palace? But when she saw Sima Xiao, she kind of froze. You! Chu Hui then gasped, thrilled. It's the Dao Lord. What brings you here? Before she could even get her hopes up, Sima Xiao plopped Dingyan down in front of him. You! Peel the skin off her face and then kill her. Dingyan, still totally out of it, waved her hands frantically. No way, gagged. Sima Xiao firmly grabbed her hand. This woman bullied you. You need to take revenge yourself. As Dingyan's hand trembled uncontrollably, he kept pushing. She ruined your face, so you peel off her skin. She had people beat you, so you break all her bones and meridians. She made you suffer, so you make her die in agony. Peel. Seeing that she was about to lose the battle, she cried out, I can't do it. Just as the sharp ice spear was about to reach Chu Hui's face, she screamed in terror. Dao Lord, spare me. I'm the young palace master of the Yun Palace. If you spare me, my mother will shower you with countless treasures, heaven-tier cultivation techniques, spiritual tools, elixirs, anything you want. Dingyan, looking pale and weak, pleaded, Ancestor, just let go for now, okay? Let's talk about this back home. All right. Sima Xiao flatly refused, his eyes filled with hatred as he stared at Chu Hui. No. Dingyan couldn't take it anymore, wincing in discomfort. But my stomach hurts so bad. My injuries are super serious. I really don't want to kill anyone myself. As she finished speaking, she involuntarily stumbled backward, coughing up fresh blood. Her breathing was getting erratic and out of control, but coaxing her CEO was still totally doable. She gave him a pitiful look. Babe, if you don't save me, I'm seriously gonna die. Seeing that Sima Xiao wasn't budging, Dingyan planted 3 quick kisses on his cheek. I'm sorry, I just really hate pain. Can we go home and heal first, pretty? Please, I'm begging you, ancestor. Seems like that worked. Sima Xiao immediately scooped her up and scolded. Shut up! I'm taking you home, she replied, satisfied, with rosy cheeks. Okay. Inside, she secretly sighed in relief. Phew. Finally got the ancestor to drop the whole make her do it herself thing. I might kill to protect myself if pushed to the wall, but I'm definitely not gonna do it when someone's holding my hand and forcing me to kill. Chu Hui watched them leave and breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, saved. Who the hell is that little bitch? Why is she messing around with the Dao Lord? At this moment, Dingyan curled up in his arms, lost in thought. I still haven't gotten used to this world, but I can't use my standards to interfere with Sima Xiao either. Even though Sima Xiao was leaving, He didn't forget to glare back at Chu Hui, and there she was, thinking she finally caught his eye, waving like crazy, all excited, but before she could even finish her high, that icy glare of his sliced her in half, sending her straight to the afterlife before she could even blink. Ouch! A bit later, Sim Xiao got Tingan back to her room to rest. Inside, she was totally buzzing, showering him with praise. Sifu is seriously amazing, my tummy feels so much better. Tingan, lying on the bed, watched him gently rub her stomach and said shyly, "Before, there was this thunder-type cultivator who whipped me and stuffed lightning spiritual power into the wound. It hurt so bad I almost passed out." Sim Xiao, without a hint of emotion, responded, "If only I knew." A dark, ominous aura started swirling around Sim Xiao as he emphasized each word. "I'll make them suffer, a fate worse than death." Tingan, hearing that, froze up. "Worse than death, dude. Please don't get all horror movie on me, I'm gonna hurl." Sim Xiao pinched her cheeks, making her look at him intently. "Scared?" She nonchalantly replied, "Nope." He raised an eyebrow, suspicious. "Still not scared? You deserve a little punishment." She jolted, stiff as a board. "Punishment? Like what?" At the same time, Sim Xiao's hand reached for her chest. In her mind, she was screaming, "Crap, did I pick the wrong answer?" But then, Sim Xiao gently took off her outer robe. Only then did she realize what was going on, and her cheeks flushed red. She mentally sighed in relief. "Oh, that's the punishment. You could have said so. I was freaking out." Sim Xiao saw her lying there, unmoving, and teased. "You don't seem to have any intention of resisting." Tingan blinked at him, all innocent. "Huh, if you're requesting it, I guess I could give it a shot." And just like that, Tingan started rolling left and right, putting on a grade A actress performance, shouting dramatically, "Aya, stop! Please have mercy!" Sim Xiao, losing patience, stopped her. "Don't move." Then, out of nowhere, he kissed her, and Tingan gripped the blanket tightly. Her breathing got heavier, and she felt a strange sensation. What is this? With Sim Xiao's every move, she felt more and more uncomfortable, like her body was on fire. Shaking all over, Tingan choked out, "You? Do all you Sema clan guys make women suffer like this? I'm gonna burn to death." Wah! The Sema clan has Phoenix Mountain spirit blood, which carries the aura of spirit fire, causing immense pain to outsiders. If Liao Tingan hadn't drunk his blood before, she definitely wouldn't be able to withstand the burning sensation of the spirit fire today. Sim Xiao softly kissed her forehead, comforting her. "Don't be scared. I'm here. No one will hurt you." He lovingly stroked her chin. "Cry for me. Don't hold it in. You can't make me hurt like that again." But before they could get all lovey-dovey for even 3 seconds, Sim Xiao's face turned cold, and he warned, "If there's a next time, I'll kill you." At this moment, Shi Tianlu spoke up. "Palace Master Yuezhi, please don't create any more bloodshed. You've caused quite a stir recently." Palace Master Yuezhi furrowed her brows and retorted sternly, "Shi Tianlu, the one who died wasn't your daughter, so how could you understand the pain in my heart?" Tianlu immediately thought of Sima Xiao. He then sat closer to the fire and said calmly, "Listen to me. I suspect this matter is related to Sima Xiao. Since that battle, Sima Xiao hasn't shown his face. The most dangerous place is the safest place. Could he be hiding in the immortal abode of Kanshen? Perhaps he hasn't recovered from his serious injuries, so he hasn't appeared. We can find him quickly." Scene changes. Sima Xiao asked from the side, "City Lord, haven't you had enough sleep?" She yawned and replied, "I feel much better. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore, my spiritual meridians are clear, and I'm as healthy as a carp transforming into a dragon." At this, Tingan secretly smiled in her heart. Indeed, dual cultivation heals and saves people. It's true. Then she reached for the mirror beside her. "The wound on my face, is it?" But when she saw the unfamiliar person in the mirror, she exclaimed in shock, "Oh my god, ancestor!" Sima Xiao, in a different form, replied calmly, "Now you are the city lord of Fenghua City, Shi Yuxiang." Tingan panicked and asked, "Who are you?" Sima Xiao feigned weakness, covered his face shyly. "The gigolo that Shi Yuxiang is keeping." Tingan, seeing that expression, unhesitatingly gave a thumbs up and praised, "Big boss, you really know how to advance and retreat." Then she stood up and asked further, "What exactly is going on? Where are the Yongling Chun siblings?" Sima Xiao replied calmly, "The Yongling Chun siblings have returned to their original identities. They won't remember what happened during this time. They won't remember anything. All traces have been erased." Tingan added, "Then what are we doing in this Fenghua city?" Sima Xiao interrupted, "You're asking too much. Just follow me." A moment later, the two arrived at another place. Tingan looked around and exclaimed, "Wow, this room is full of magical treasures and spiritual energy. Shi Yuxiang is really rich." "What are these used for?" Sima Xiao replied. "Defense," she continued. "What kind of defense are you talking about?" he said impatiently. "Word by word, I said it's for defense." Tingan was disheartened. Okay, I understand. It's all for me, the noob." to use, right? Then she went to touch the items in the chest, shoulder armor, nose rings, with a look of disgust. Ugh, I can't wear these. They're so ugly. Sim Xiao smiled knowingly. I think they're fine. Ting Yan looked at him coquettishly. But I don't like them. Can we skip it? Hearing this, Sim Xiao couldn't help but laugh out loud, so sweet-mouthed. But you're cursing me in your heart, aren't you? Fierce much. Then he handed her a bracelet. Do you like this? She immediately lit up, hugged her cheeks, and exclaimed, Love it! Love it so much! Look how beautiful this is! But before she could rejoice, Sim Xiao threw it away. Too bad it's not a defensive magical treasure. Not taking it, Ting Yan lamented regretfully. My tiny heart is screaming inside. That damn man, what's wrong with him? Does he really have feelings for me? What's with these plastic emotions? That night, dark clouds gathered, and rain poured with thunder and lightning. Ting Yan sat in her room, bored, tossing pills into her mouth like peanuts. It's weird, ever since I woke up, I've felt restless, uneasy no matter what I do. Taking some pills makes me feel better. Then she flopped onto the bed, stretching out to enjoy herself. Whatever, I'll just sleep on it. If I can't decide, I'll just sleep. Suddenly, the necklace flew in by itself. Ting Yan immediately sat up and grabbed it. Huh, the necklace from earlier. Ma Xiao simultaneously lifted the curtain and walked over. Wear it. She examined the necklace, innocently asking. But didn't you say this wasn't a defensive magic item? Ting Yan suddenly raised her eyebrows. Wait, how did this necklace become a defensive magic item? Ma Xiao took the necklace. What's the big deal? I refined several defensive magic items into it, Ting Yan suspiciously asked. Where did you learn to refine artifacts? He put the necklace on her and replied, It's as easy as pie. Why would I need to learn? At that moment, a loud thunderclap boomed outside. Ting Yan startled and instinctively hugged him. Ah, Grandmaster, why do I feel so anxious when I hear thunder? I wasn't like this before. Ma Xiao looked at her with amusement. You're probably about to break through, that's why there's a lightning tribulation, she thoughtfully replied. So that's it. It seems I really am about to break through. It's all because the ancestors forced me to increase my cultivation and even made me drink the blood of the frozen phoenix. I've broken through so many times, but I've never encountered a lightning tribulation. It's been smooth sailing all the way. I don't have any experience. This is the first time. So the ancestors prepared this defensive armor for me to block the lightning tribulation. Thinking of this, she grabbed Ma Xiao's arm. I'm not going to be the first incarnation to be struck dead because I can't withstand the lightning tribulation, am I? Ma Xiao immediately hugged her. No way. His gaze was deep and unreadable as he stated clearly. If I don't let you die, you won't die. Switching to another scene, Ting Yan stands on a cliff, looking thoughtful. Thunder rumbles in the valley. It's the secret realm of the Kanshen Immortal Abode. This place is shielded by celestial beings, able to ward off most lightning tribulations. It's a perk for disciples of the Sema family. Each time they break through, they can come to Thunder Valley to avoid lightning strikes. A few days ago, Sima Zhao brought a long-tailed hamster and gave her instructions. Take this, I won't accompany you anymore. Ting Yan was taken aback. Ancestor, I'm going to transcend tribulation, not going on a picnic. What are you giving me this white mouse for? Sima Zhao replied. This is Shi Yu Xiang. Remembering this, she involuntarily praised, Ancestor really knows how to pick people. Shi Yu Xiang is a Sema family disciple, just like me, and also preparing to break through to the Transformation God stage, but she couldn't help but worry. Having me replace her to come to Thunder Valley for the breakthrough is reasonable and undetectable. But ever since coming to this world, I don't seem to have been away from Ancestor for so long. This time, my breakthrough will probably take half a month, so I won't be able to see him. Immediately after, Ting Yan tiredly sat down and yawned. This godforsaken place doesn't even have a single blade of grass. It's freaking hot, but suddenly her eyes lit up. Whoa, this lightning-struck rock is so flat. It feels so comfortable to the touch. Perfect for sleeping. She immediately stood up and waved her hands around. Soon, a set of glittering bedding appeared. Hee hee, watch this. Ting Yan couldn't wait to fly onto it. Bearing the name of an outstanding exam taker in a test-heavy education system, she took out a book to read. Before an exam, you must rest well, keep a relaxed mood, and review the key points. At the same time, Sima Xiao secretly observed her actions and couldn't help but chuckle. Still couldn't help but follow. She's still the same. Wherever she goes, she'll make herself comfortable. Suddenly, a lightning tribulation appeared in the sky. Without hesitation, it struck the middle of the mattress. Ting Yan barely dodged it. Holy crap, you said you'd strike, and you really did. Ting Yan quickly sat up and started chanting incantations. I'm just breaking through, from the Transformation God stage to the Void Refinement stage. Normally, it's just the 49 Heavenly Tribulation, which means 9 major Heavenly Tribulations, and each one has 4 minor Heavenly Tribulations. At the same time the lightning tribulation struck, a large hole appeared in her defensive layer. Sitting inside, she nervously watched each crack, Whoa, it seems my defensive circle isn't very effective. The cracks grew larger and larger, and Tingan started to panic. This isn't the 49-day tribulation, is it? It's the 99-day tribulation. Tingan really couldn't resist anymore. She covered her nose and coughed. I'm done for, I'm screwed. But after waiting for a long time, there was no strange reaction. She tentatively opened her eyes. Why doesn't my body hurt at all? That's right, how could it hurt when there's the big boss Sim Xiao backing her up? He stood in front of her, valiantly grabbing the lightning bolt. With a cold and merciless expression, he snapped the lightning bolt in half. Tingan, who was free and bored behind him, used all her strength to praise. Tearing lightning with bare hands? Ancestor, you truly are my ancestor. Sim Xiao was amused by the sweet words and tilted his head, saying,